Hello, 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 my beautiful, amazing soul family. I so appreciate each and every one of you showing up today. Hello, Star Soul. Hello, Skull, Aaron, Johnny, Luna, David, Rising Star Seed. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you all. I'm so grateful for you all to hold space today. I'm very excited to be joining fellow contributor Aaron Ayden, who is going to be joining us live on Facebook here in just a moment. So if you guys would like to join the live readings on Facebook, do please click the link listed at the very top of the chat. I will have that posted in the link below as well. So for anybody who is looking for a little bit of tarot and spiritual discussion today, it's going to be a beautiful day, and I'm so excited to share this space with each and every one of you. This is a beautiful step into the unknown and out into our power. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you all are excited for the beautiful wisdom that is going to come through today from Spirit. I'm sending you all loads of love. Hi, Amanda. Thank you so much for joining. I so appreciate you guys. I do suggest, if you guys would like to receive any messages today, to join in on Facebook. That is where the link will be to be able to see Aaron and I's discussion. The YouTube video is a secondary link to be able to see. You'll be able to hear Aaron and I doing the readings, but you won't actually be able to see it. So if you would like to have a better view, please do jump over to Facebook. Otherwise, if you're just here for the vibes and to hang out and chat and enjoy a little bit of company and some spirit wisdom, thank you for holding space. I so appreciate you guys, and I will definitely be keeping an eye on the comments as they come through. So thank you, Star Soul and David, Rising Starseed, Luna, Amanda, Brendan, all of you amazing souls. We are getting ready to go live on Facebook, so do keep in mind that will be the primary camera angle for this. So I love you guys, and namaste. I'm going to go ahead and get set up for the live on Facebook.
There's something a little bit different in store,
okay,
and we're bringing it in with us to share this.
How do I join?
No.
Add. Okay, it's a work in progress, guys. So.
Right, there's something a little bit different in store, and we're bringing it in with us to share this. Okay.
How do I join live?
Kristen, if you're watching on Facebook, is there a button to request to join the live?
That's what I'm looking for.
What was a problem with doing things for the first time, eh?
That's okay. We're all going to stay positive, and it's going to work out just fine. Sorry, YouTube. You guys are...
Oh, okay.
I don't think Facebook works like that. That's Instagram.
There's nothing
Skull. Okay.
To add somebody into the live. This is...
Okay, well, then maybe we'll just hold our own spaces.
Kristen, if you go into the event and click on the button that says set up live video, maybe that will add you.
View event, more live video. Okay, thank you, Brendan. I appreciate it so much. I kind of wondered if Facebook did that, but I don't know that it does either. So, hey, this is a beautiful learning opportunity for everybody that's here. Apparently, live on Facebook does not work the same. Otherwise, we need to do an extra step and using Zoom. Okay, well, that's good. At least we figured out. Oh, okay. Now the only thing is letting Aaron know that co-hosting request. I wondered. Okay, well, guys, there's a first for everything. I wonder if I can join his by going live this way.
Hello.
So, Aaron, it does seem like we cannot join live on the event through the actual event. Brendan shared his beautiful wisdom in saying that it does not work that way. So,
what we can do, if you're happy to do this, and everyone watching on Facebook might have to end the broadcast just because it's looking like we can't go join through the event. But if you're happy, if we go live through just through Facebook rather than the page, and then I'll just share it into the page.
That absolutely works. Or we could do live on Instagram as well. That's also an option. Whatever works. Okay. Whatever works for you. Or we could.
Oh, the universe has beautiful ways of working, doesn't it? Right. Yeah, there's nothing to say. To add someone to a new video, tap on the top of your news feed, tap start live video, tap at the bottom to in. No, so because I'm live from my laptop, I don't have the option. It's a completely different layout. Let's just see if there's any. No, there's literally no options to add. Right, so if I end this broadcast and just see if we can.
Hey, Aaron, real quick, Brendan threw out a suggestion. If you stay live on Facebook, you already have the stream going, and you have your Instagram on your phone. Maybe we could have the live on your Facebook, and then we can do live on Instagram and have our shared live via Instagram.
Sure, yeah. So if you want to go ahead and set up an Instagram live, then just invite me to that.
And then you get on Instagram and you click ask to be added to the live, and we will go from there. Okay, beautiful.
Okay, we'll work it around that.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Okay.
Awesome. Hey, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, Brendan, for the wisdom and learning experiences all the way. You know, there's one way to learn, and that's to try. So you never know until you try. So we're going to go live on Instagram. Live. Doing it. There we go. So both of you just go live on Instagram. Yes, and he's going to stay on Facebook, and I'm going to stay live on YouTube. And then we can still hear each other. Thank you so much, Brendan. I appreciate you. Awesome. Hi, Instagram. We are going live today. We will be joined with Aaron. We're going to be doing some live tarot and beautiful spiritual discussion. Hi, Sweet Pink. Thank you for joining. Hi, Angelos. It's good to see you guys. We're going to be doing some live tarot today. So for everybody that's here, I appreciate you. Why don't we go ahead and connect with our breath? Beautiful. Yes, learning experiences on the fly are always appreciated. And if nothing else, if you're watching this and you are a fellow conscious creator, you can learn from our mistakes. And hi, Angelos. Hi, Sweet Pink. Thank you guys for joining. So we're going to give Aaron just a little bit to join in. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I would do without you guys. I love you so much. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be so beautiful. I'm really excited. Beautiful. So Aaron is on the live. So I believe, Aaron, you just have to click the button that shows up that says ask to be added to the live. Yes, view request, go live. Look at this. Okay, perfect. Yay! Awesome. Aaron, did we...
Okay.
Yay!
Manic stuff, eh? We got there in the end.
We're good. Solid.
Awesome. Okay. First Instagram live. This is going to be interesting.
breaking all of the firsts today, so good. And you're still live on Facebook too, yes?
Yeah, I'm still live on Facebook. I just said for everyone on Facebook, if they want to hear the discussion, then join us on Instagram. Probably going to be easier, so they can hear the actual discussion as opposed to half.
Beautiful. Did you want to go ahead and lead a little bit of singing bowl, and we'll connect with our breath and bring the energy to a cohesive space?
It would be absolutely my pleasure. So everyone on Instagram and Facebook, if you just want to take a few moments, take a deep breath in and just close your eyes. As you hear the sound of the singing bowl grow louder and clearer, just feeling it penetrate through your heart space, cleansing your energy field, and releasing any heart rules or any blockages. Restoring your chakras to their natural rhythm. Releasing any negative blockages in your mind, body, and soul. Take a deep breath in and release. And you can go ahead and open your eyes when you're ready. Hopefully feeling just slightly relaxed. And like I said to you earlier, Kristen, I spent like 3 hours meditating today. So if I have trouble speaking, it's because I'm just so within. I'm just still trying to get my speech back properly.
Good, beautiful.
But hopefully it should come back to a slightly more human level very soon.
Yes. Absolutely beautiful. Yes. So thank you guys all for joining. Really appreciate this sacred space. Pisces, we just did a little bit of a breathing to connect ourselves, but thank you for joining. Aaron, did you have people on your live who would like to ask questions for readings, or did we want to start with a collective reading for everyone who's here?
I think if we start off with a collective reading, and I would just say one more time for anyone just joining on Facebook, if you want to hear the discussion, if you want to see and hear Kristen as well, then join on Instagram. It is in the comments on Facebook at Aaron Ayden 3. Just head over there and you'll see the live there, and you can hear the full conversation and be able to hear the amazing discussions.
Beautiful. All right, sweet soul. So we're going to set the intention for everybody that's here. The messages are for you. So if you would like to think about something particular that maybe is on your mind that you would like a little bit of wisdom on, get clear, connect with your breath, and we'll do a nice reading just to get us started. So what does Spirit have to say to start us off today? Beautiful. And I just had a card pop out, so we'll go ahead and see what that is. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. Okay, I'm really excited. All right, my sweet friends, we got the Magician, which just reminds you that you can do anything. The Magician is the card of feeling the power from within and allowing yourself to see that you can create the reality that you experience, and knowing that you have the power to really create anything that you wish to align with. And if you guys can see, there's a beautiful path that this magical wanderer is going down, and knowing that you can clear all of the obstacles from this stream and to align with that which works best for you, and to really be able to see the magic that you hold within your own spaces, and to know that the wisdom that you seek always lies within. So I really feel like that's super beautiful. This card also speaks to manifestation and knowing that you can manifest the life that you desire. And I think that's really great, considering Aaron and I were just discussing the importance of manifestation and how, being able to create the realities that we experience are so important, to know that you can take charge of your life and that you can take charge of the situations that you encounter. If nothing else, this experience right here is a perfect example of, not allowing obstacles to stop you, but rather to use them to your power and to find the ability to overcome and to continue forward. So I think that's a really beautiful card to start with.
Beautiful. And I just pulled out a card which kind of, I feel, resonates with that. That's the Shadow Queen. And if you can see there, the Shadow Queen's just an absolute magnificent creature. Just show you guys on Facebook as well. Yeah. So the Shadow Queen really speaks about acquiring the knowledge that you need to do the things that you want to do. And it's all about going after what you truly want and letting go of those insecurities, and also manipulating your environment, manipulating your reality, which really speaks wonders when manifestation comes in. And just knowing that when you align yourself with your true purpose. And I speak a lot about how we, as a society, we're taught, you need money to be happy, you need a job to be happy, you need a big house to be happy. But if you're putting your happiness on other things, or you're putting your happiness in the future and saying, I'll be happy when this happens, I'll be happy if, you're never going to reach that happiness, because when you find it within, absolutely nothing can destroy that. It may, it might go up and down, but that's the same with life. But when you manipulate your reality from the inside, and by that I mean when you take everything that's already inside you and you bring it outwards, as opposed to bringing the outside world into you, you really start to manifest in some amazing ways.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is so important to keep that inner peace and to know that you are the dreamer of your reality, and all those dreams do really come from within, and knowing that in order to align with the purpose that you wish to hold comes from a space of clear knowing and clearly seeing that which you want to align with, and really giving yourself the freedom to dream big and dream into the future that you wish to align with. I think it's great that here, this is the second card we get with another path, and look at how clear this path forward is ahead. And this magical dreamer sees the beauty within their space and feels the magic around them and utilizes that magic within to fuel them to move forward. But the important thing is trusting yourself. You have to trust that everything is going to happen as it should, and to trust that the things that you are desiring and manifesting are for your highest good and for the highest good of all. And so really allowing yourself the ability to clear the path in front of you and align with that which is directly related to your soul truth and your soul purpose, and not allowing anything to come into your path. This card also always reminds me that we're supported, and that we have guides and spirits or angels, that whichever you align with, but you are always supported and divinely guided in everything that you do. And so just learning that infinite trust within and allowing yourself to dream big. So I think that's really great.
And to follow on with that, which I just want to say that those two cards, they both bring in that path, and it ties in beautifully with the card that I chose just after I kind of realized, they're both showing two sides to the same path, from what I could see. And I want to follow on with the map maker of destiny, all about creating your own journey. And although there may be a path already there may be, a road that's already been built, but do you want to follow in somebody else's footsteps, or do you want to create your own footsteps in the sand? And do you want to manifest yourself more than anything? Because it's all well and good manifesting the dream life that you want, but how sculpted is yourself at the moment? How well have you built yourself, and how strong are your foundations? Because you can manifest anything you want. You can manifest, if you want to be famous, are your foundations strong enough to handle fame? Because a lot of people don't realize, fair enough, it's all good being TikTok famous, Instagram famous, or, a TV celebrity. But if you can't handle being constantly bombarded by stuff, then that speaks truth with your foundations, and to build your foundations, to strengthen not only yourself, but the world around you. Because when we build up ourselves, we're actually building up every other relationship and every experience that we have. So when you're in a low vibrational state, you'll find that you will attract low vibrational people. If you're focusing on negative mental health, you're going to attract not just people also with negative mental health, but people who dampen your mental health even further and make you more depressed, make you more stressed or anxious. And when you start to align yourself with how you truly want to feel, a lot of people say to me, it's like, well, how can I just be happy? How can I just let it go? The answer is pretty simple, and it's not as easy as it sounds, but when you get the hang of it and when you understand the true meaning, it really does become easy. The old saying, if you really want to be happy, you already will be. Now, I get a lot of stick from that. A lot of people have a go at me and say, you don't know what you're talking about, you're talking rubbish. But what that really means is if you truly want to be happy, you will let go of everything that's making you unhappy. You will let go of dwelling on those negative emotions, thoughts, and feelings, and you stop allowing yourself to. It's almost like you're force feeding yourself all the things that you don't want. And the law of attraction, going into manifestation, the law of attraction is all about feeling it as if you have it now. So if you want to be happy, don't say, well, I'll be happy when I get that promotion in work and I'll get more money because then I can pay my rent and then I'll be stable. What you really want to do is to remind yourself and say, I'm happy now because, and that because is the biggest thing. You have to find the reason that you want to be happy within yourself. And for me, I always think it's best, the reason that you are happy within yourself is because you are who you're meant to be. Because then absolutely nothing, no matter what happens, will ever shake that or take that happiness away. There may be times where you forget it for a few minutes and you forget why you're happy or you forget that you are happy. And then you remember and you remind yourself, oh, actually life's not too bad. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I can shake that up. Tomorrow's a new day. Those three cards just really tie in together.
Absolutely. So I think it's super, this is great. This is just going to be a continuous flow because the next card that came for me is the Strength card number 11, which is so beautiful because whenever we are aligning with our purpose and finding the reasons to know that we deserve what we want out of life, knowing that you have the strength and the power to overcome any obstacles, and know that there is always a balance between the respect between taking action and the respect between silence, and knowing that in order to align with that which we want to, we have to be sure that we're finding that balance between, I'm going to go ahead and do something, I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, I'm going to create a new space, I'm going to, jump into what I want to do. But in order to know fully and have that confidence and that strength, we also have to stay within this reflective space of, what does my heart actually desire? What aligns with my true purpose? What is going to fuel my passion in a way that is best for the highest good of all? And just knowing that whenever we find the balance between these two, that you do have the strength to move forward in all that you desire, and that you hold the strength within to overcome all of the obstacles that come across your path. And this card also speaks on forgiveness. And I really feel like a lot of the times whenever we step out of our journey and we go into new spaces, maybe sometimes we make mistakes, and that's okay. And it's so important to be able to forgive yourself and move forward and allow yourself to find strength from the lessons learned, and also to be able to forgive anybody that we might have interacted with along the way that it wasn't necessarily what we wanted, or maybe we said some things we didn't mean, or maybe they said things that they didn't mean. But being able to find the power of forgiveness within those spaces and move forward from a place of compassion and love, and also to see how beautiful and amazing that you are, how very truly special you are, because you are unique and you are unlike any other being that is on this planet, and you have a divine, unique light that you shine everywhere you go, and your light very specifically touches everyone that you interact with. And so just know that it doesn't matter if what you do is meeting the expectations of other people, but just by knowing that you showing up and you shining your light and stepping into your purpose is filling those desires, and allowing yourself to shine and inspire other people as well. So yeah.
That was so powerful. That really hit me very deeply with, maybe a collective reading, and it definitely resonated extremely deep, as I said. I mean, this year, like the whole transformation that I went through this year was because of other people's actions and other people that I had to forgive, people that I'm still working on forgiveness. And I just want to say, anyone on Facebook who, who would benefit from, just forgiveness. If there's anything that you need to forgive, look within and realize why you're still holding on to it. What is the reason that you can't forgive yourself? Because forgiving yourself, maybe it's you need to forgive yourself for not knowing better, or not knowing what you know now then. Because when you forgive yourself for the way that you reacted in a situation, forgiving the other person or the other situation becomes so much easier. And again, for anyone on Facebook, if you want to get a lot more meaning from this live, then jump onto Instagram as well. My Instagram handle is in the comments. I just want to read out a comment from Dim here. She said, also resonates with me. I'm working on myself to feel content and happy as well. Life is short. We should cherish every day we have when we are on this side. 100%. I mean, we may think 80 years is a long time, but it's really not. I mean, you look at how fast like your school years go by. It's gone in a flash. Before you know it, you're coming up to your 30s and you're like, where the hell has life gone? Like, what have I done? And that's what, it's almost a race. We're all racing. But I think learning to just slow down and appreciate the now, the here and now, is where you're going to find the most meaning. If you're constantly chasing the then and when and if and what, you're not appreciating the here and now. And I just want to quickly tie into some teachings from Lao Tzu with Taoism. So in Taoism, it's all about the flow of life, just going with the flow. Now, there's seven things that we can learn from water. So we all need water. Water is the sacred bond of life. It's the creator of life. Without water, we don't have anything, And the first thing that we can learn is to be formless, shapeless, and flow only with the natural rhythm of life. If things aren't working out, then why are you forcing them? Is it a place from desperation? Are you coming from an egoic place where your ego is chasing something again because your ego believes that will make you happy? What is the reason that you're trying to go against the flow? If you think of life like a great river, everything that feels natural and just happens on its own, you're in the central current, you're just flowing with life. And when you feel resistance, it's because you're swimming diagonal or sideways or even against the current. So when you learn to let that go into its own way, rivers go off in different directions, but you need to see yourself as this central current, and anything that flows away from this main river isn't meant for you, and that's why it's going to a different place, because it's meant for somebody else. It's meant for another river, and each one of those streams that come off of this central river is another person, another experience that just wasn't meant for you. So if there is any resistance, just let it go, just as water will let it go when a separate current comes in and drags it away. But also being one. If you put water in a cup, the water becomes the cup. If you pour it out of the cup, it becomes its own thing. It flows to where it needs to go, to the lowest point. So it will only show what it needs to. So you see the surface of the water, you only see a tiny bit of it. You think you're seeing the ocean. You're not. You're seeing the surface, and beneath that is so much unimaginable beauty and chaos and things that you couldn't even explain if you tried to. Just like an iceberg will only show you the top, but really it's got a huge, beautiful masterpiece underneath, but it will give enough to stay afloat. It will only give what it needs to the outside. And by this, I mean, if you're working on a project, well, do it for you. Don't work on a project because you want to show it off and go on Instagram stories or things. Oh, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. It's a way of trying to get recognition. Do it because you feel it resonates with you and because you love doing it and because it makes you happy. And you can share the results with other people, but the process should be a sacred thing for you, because that's how you're growing your character. That's how you're becoming who you were meant to be, who you always were and still are right now. But when you share, it's like when I gave up smoking, it took me about 8 years before I came to a point this year where I was finding I'm giving it up, and I haven't smoked in months now. But the mistake I always made was I would say, I've just given up smoking. I'd tell everyone I meet, I've just given up. No, I've just quit smoking. Because I was like, I feel really proud that I've given up smoking. What I didn't realize was that I was diminishing the work that I was doing inside by saying to somebody else, this is what I'm doing. And by doing that, I wasn't as because there was an expectation. Other people were like, oh, well, you're doing okay, well, let's see what happens. Makes it harder to stick to it. But when I went within, was like, okay, I'm giving up smoking. I woke up one day and I just threw my cigarettes away, threw everything away. I burnt the rolling papers and everything, because I was like, right, I'm going to let this addiction burn away. And I didn't tell anyone for about 3 to 4 weeks, when I knew that, after 21 days, that's form a habit. And I needed to make sure that I'd formed the habit of not smoking before I shared it with anyone. And it's the first time I've been successful in not smoking. So that's a really important thing about only going what you need to and not sharing your ocean of self with the entire world for recognition or for any kind of judgment or whatever it is that the reason is that you're sharing it. Just do it for you, because then you're going to find the most meaning. Forgiving with great kindness. The ocean will feed everything. The ocean, as I said, is the reason that we have life. So no matter where water goes, water doesn't care if you're good or bad. It doesn't care if you've done a kind deed today or you've done a horrible thing. It just knows that it needs to be there for you. And it's always there. It's in abundance. And it will always give you life, no matter what you do, no matter what, where you are or who you are. So no matter who you come into contact with, just share at least one thing that's going to uplift them. Share one thing, or just act in a way that's going to spread kindness, spread love, spread positivity, or just be there for somebody without expecting something in return. Because water goes through you, filter it all out, and it comes out. The water's not expecting you to give it something. It's just saying, you need me, so I'm here. And I will always be there as long as you need me. But speaking with great integrity as well, water, if you look at a pond and it's undisturbed and it's still, you will see perfect reflections in the water. And going into manifestation, when you're still inside and you allow yourself to just do nothing. Like I said earlier, I spent like 3 hours meditating today. And the reason I did that was to create that stillness within. Now, that's not to say that I got rid of all my thoughts and they disappeared magically. No. The trick is to be aware of your thoughts and just let them be. But be still. Don't react to the thoughts if you can. Don't react to external noise. Just focus within. And how I do that is I focus all of my attention just between my eyes. And I focus with my eyes closed until there's no light coming through my eyelids and I'm completely encased in myself. And I'm just one with who I am. So finding that level of stillness means that you can accurately reflect the world that you want outside. And with manifestation, meditation goes hand in hand. If you want to manifest great things, well, you're going to need to visualize great things. And the best way to visualize is to go within and to create that clear image in your mind. Because your brain doesn't know the difference between what you're imagining here and what you're seeing out here. Your brain is just this fleshy meatworm tangled inside the skull, creating eyes and ears and skin to sense what it's picking up. So if you feed your brain the image, because your consciousness isn't encased in your head, and science is, suggesting your consciousness is all around you. So for your consciousness not to be in your brain, it means when you consciously feed your brain what you want it to see, and this goes with health problems, this goes with eye health, or again, giving up addictions. When you feed your brain the positives, your brain will create the positives, not just within, but without as well. So manifestation really does come from within first. It will never come without you finding that place within first. But governing with great administration and not judging. So by that, it's just, we can walk through the street and think, oh, look at that person, they look like this, or oh, they're doing this. The best way to look at that, when you notice that you're judging somebody, is think, why am I judging? What is it that I need to heal from to allow them, to allow my judgment to disperse? Because when we judge others, it's because there's something in ourselves that we need to heal from. There's some kind of trauma or there's some kind of belief. And that's where that judgment, if you judge somebody because of their weight, okay, well, I can relate to that in the sense that when I was a teenager, I put on a massive amount of weight. So I then started to judge other people because of their weight, because I needed to heal from the trauma that I'd caused myself when I put on that weight. So by healing from that, I now no longer judge people based on their weight. But handling with ease is the sixth lesson that we can learn from water. And again, taking it back to flowing with the natural path. Water will always go to the lowest point. It will always flow straight down. It's not going to try and climb uphill. Water will never go uphill. It will always go down because it's the easiest route. So why climb uphill if you can sit back, relax, brush your arms, and just enjoy the ride, go straight down that slope. The seventh thing is to move with great timing. Everything happens at the time it needs to. Nothing ever happens at the wrong time, just as water will never appear at the wrong time. And Bruce Lee once said, water can flow or it can crash. So be water.
Absolutely. So I think it's really great. Water always takes the path of least resistance, right? And if there is no path, it will carve the path itself. Rather than trying to flow over the rock, it will actually carve through the rock. And so just knowing that, whenever you flow with the universe and you flow with your path, if you come across something that doesn't vibe with you or it doesn't make you feel good and it sets a sense of fear or worry or discomfort within your body, really listening and paying attention to your body and knowing that it will always tell you whether you are going in the right direction or not, and trusting that if it doesn't vibe with you, if it doesn't vibe with your space, this is your sign to really change your course of action and find that path of least resistance. And oh, it looks like we lost Aaron. He will join back in, though, I'm sure. So what beautiful wisdom, though. Thank you all so much. And just knowing that, like, the power of water is super amazing, especially whenever we're talking about manifestation. You can manifest with water. So if you guys are somebody who creates like moon water or holds rituals using water. Hi, Aaron. Did you get back in?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we cannot see you. So
right.
There we go. We've got
so my phone was about to die. I think that's what kicked me off.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to charge my phone up. Obviously, wasn't expecting Instagram, so hopefully it won't die.
Okay, good. So yeah, so if you guys are somebody who is interested in learning about manifesting with water, I highly suggest it. It's super great. So I'll just share a little bit of a tips about what I do to manifest with water, and you can use this for quantum jumping as well. So you get yourself a nice glass, something that has a round bottom preferably, and you will sit and meditate. You can actually write your intentions or your manifestations out on a piece of paper and stick that to the glass. And then you will sit and meditate with your water and focus in on exactly what it is that you wish to see. And you create that clear picture in your mind because, like Aaron said, your mind doesn't know the difference between what it's imagining and what is reality. So whenever you set that intention and you set that clear image, you can go into as much detail, but I highly suggest when manifesting with water, you really pick one thing specifically and really get as detailed as you would like about it. And then after you've sat and you've meditate with your water for at least 5 minutes or so, then you're going to want to drink all of the water within the glass and do any kind of rituals that work for you. Say the and so it is, or Amen, Ashe, Namaste. But that's my own personal method for manifesting with water. And I can tell you guys in my own experience, it has worked absolutely beautiful for me. So I highly suggest, like, explore, try new things, allow yourself to step into spaces that you've never been before, allow yourself to dream in a way that maybe you've never dreamed before, or maybe in a way that you've only dared to dream. Like, it's so beautiful whenever you can really imagine that life that you want to step into and then you align with it. But I think it's also really important to mention whenever you are manifesting that you have to follow up with action, okay? So there is the thinking factor and the power of the mind and everything that you can create with your mind, but also knowing that you have to create a plan of action to follow through with those manifestations. So the universe is going to send you opportunities, right? There's going to be different situations that come your way because all is in divine time, but then it's up to you as a physical human in physical form to take the action to step into alignment with those manifestations, which is why it's so important to be actively creating steps that will bring you closer to what you desire. And writing it out is super powerful. Speaking about it with your friends or your family members, coming up with those dreams and then stepping into aligning with them. And then I just pulled a card while you were talking, Aaron, about the water and everything. And the card that came up is the 5 of Summer. And this card speaks all about trusting that everything happens for a reason, okay? even though things may not go exactly as you plan, okay, you're going to manifest, you're going to create this timeline that you wish to align with. And sometimes we're going to have obstacles that come our way because we have lessons that we need to learn in order to be wholly aligned with that timeline. And sometimes we have to release some of the things that don't vibe with that timeline we wish to connect with. And so in order to be able to release those things, we have to trust that whatever is happening to us is happening for us and around us in order to help us to be able to align. And although I know it can be harder actually done than said, but just trusting that the lessons you have gone through have given you more wisdom and allowed you to be able to step further into your purpose in a way that is really going to bring you into an emotional balance. And this card also really speaks of like releasing that fear, releasing the fear of the unknown, because in order to step into something bigger, something brighter, or whatever it is that you want to align with, you have to be able to trust and take that step and releasing that fear. Because let's use today as an example, right? So the worst case scenario, we can't join each other on the live, right? And we have to come up with a new situation. But now we've both learned a beautiful lesson on how to facilitate lives, and we were able to overcome those obstacles and still be able to align with that which we wanted to. So, releasing that fear of what's the worst case scenario. And for myself, what I do is I actually imagine the worst case scenario and I address it and I say, okay, worst case, this is what's going to happen. If that happens, what am I going to do? And then that way I'm prepared, for whatever does come my way, and just holding that positive vibe of knowing that, all is going to happen as it should. And I truly do believe that, everything that does happen around you happens truly for your greatest good. And so releasing that fear of what is going to happen or what could happen, and just stepping into it, taking those steps, trusting and aligning.
100%. And everything really does happen for you. I mean, you can look at the worst experience of your life, and I give you two options here. So say your house burned down, and you went to work tomorrow, you came home, and your house was in ashes, just on the ground. You got two options. You can walk away from this and think, wow, I now have the opportunity, and I'm now pushed to explore something new, to have a new experience, to move somewhere new, to meet new people. Or you can think, no, my house, what am I going to do? I've lost everything. All my stuff's gone. My life's gone. What am I going to do? Well, there's two very valuable points in that. The first one is you're looking pure positive. You're thinking, okay, yeah, well, all my stuff was in there. Yeah, there was some valuable stuff, but we can buy that again. We can replace that. Maybe, fair enough, there may be some sentimental things that money can't buy, but it allows you to let go of everything that's old. And if your house is burned down, it's not because the universe is like, you need to lose everything because we just want you to. It's the universe teaching you a valuable lesson. Maybe that your lesson is non-attachment, to let go of attachment to physical things. Because although we have this innate human thing that we want things to be attached to, we want something sentimental. It's like, that was my grandmother's, that was my mum's, I got to hold on to that, I can't lose it. But why? Because ultimately, when we die, although it's great to have things to remember, ultimately we're not going to take those things with us. And for me, like coming up to Christmas, for me is a very different thing from a lot of people. I see so many people like, going Christmas shopping and buying loads of gifts. A friend of mine just spent £500 in like a week on Christmas stuff. And I mean, I put something out on Facebook, basically just to some friends and family, like, if you don't receive a gift from me, it's not because I don't appreciate you. It's because I am not going to put your value and the value that I have in our friendship on a gift. I'm going to, say, write you a letter or give you something small that, not something that's going to take up space, but something that will just let you know that I value you as a person. And I'm not going to go and spend loads of money on a gift because that's meaningless. To me, that has no meaning. But just sending somebody a message or writing a letter or just saying to their face, I really value you. Just as a person, you bring so much value to my life, and I'm glad that you're you. I'm glad that you're in my life. that has so much more meaning than, oh wow, you got me a PlayStation 5, oh my god, that's amazing. And in 2 years' time, you're not going to want a PlayStation 5, you're going to want a PlayStation 6 or 7. So the PlayStation 5 that you love so much now is going to be forgotten about and probably thrown away or sold or given to somebody else in a couple of years. So that really has no meaning in life. You know, giving expensive gifts, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's great. We all love expensive gifts. You know, nobody can deny that. It's about finding the meaning as opposed to the price, because price and value are very different. I know you go into a shop, it's like, this is valued at this. No. That's priced at that. There's no such thing as value in money. Money does not buy value. With that, I want to bring in the Queen of the Light. And the Queen of the Light brings in this energy to just channel who you are, be yourself, step into her. You can see she's stepping into her divine light and her divine being. And she's openly channeling her energy and just saying, do you know what, this is who I am. And if you don't like it, there's the door, because I don't need you to tell me that I'm less than I am, because I know who I am. And that's speaking worlds of truth about illuminating your life and not reaching enlightenment in the common sense, but reaching enlightenment within the self, and just knowing that, you know, going back to the self again, just saying, I am who I need to be, and I don't care if somebody doesn't like it. If they don't like it, I don't need them, because I only need people in my life that are going to support me and that are going to boost who I am. So for anyone watching, if there is somebody in your life who is causing you stress, who is making your mental health worse, who is causing you problems in your life, or maybe they're bullying you, or they're belittling who you are or what you do, maybe they're making fun of what you do, you don't need to keep them in your life. And that may be, you know, it's difficult to let people go. But what's more valuable, having 1,000 friends who don't care about your success or don't care about how well you're doing mentally or physically, or having just a couple of friends who really value you and boost you and allow you to become the true person that you are and to harness that light from within? What's more important to you, true happiness or material gain?
Absolutely. And I just, for a moment, want to stop and say thank you so much to all of the beautiful soul family that is here supporting Aaron and I on this live today. It really, truly does mean absolutely the world to be able to connect with so many beautiful souls that just are, there to support one another and offer that love and kindness. And I just want to say personally, I really do truly appreciate you guys. Your support means the world. And being able to support one another, it's truly magical to be able to show up in each other's spaces and watch one another grow and watch each other truly shining our divine, unique lights and learning from one another, knowing that Aaron holds wisdom that I don't, knowing that Pisces holds wisdom all of her own, that, Dragon Rose, M. Fleming, all of you guys that are, in the chat, you each hold your own infinite wisdom within your being. And whenever we show up in these spaces and we share with one another, we are able to speak and find a collective bit of wisdom. Had you specifically not shown up today, that wisdom might not have come. And, maybe SJ Day, maybe you have something to say that Dragon Rose really needed to hear today. And so just knowing that every little thing that you do truly does matter. And so I just wanted to stop, and when we were speaking on that, let everybody know that I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Definitely. And following on from that, the working spiritually, especially in this sense, giving messages, collective readings. And to be honest, it's actually the first time I've done anything collective. But on my page, as you know, Kristen, I focus on individual readings. I do individual card pulls and stuff. So the people who show up and the people who are watching right now are directly influencing what's coming up, because we're not just giving collective readings. It's readings and it's card pulls and it's intuitive messages that are going to resonate or are going to be something that you need to hear. And from my experience, it doesn't even matter whether you want to hear it. If you sat here now thinking, well, this doesn't resonate with me, this doesn't relate, maybe in a week's time you're going to remember what was said today. And what you're going through in a week's time, you're going to remember this and think, now I get it. It's the same when you have a reading with a tarot reader or a palm reader or any kind of psychic or medium. I always say to people I read for, don't dismiss anything that's given to you, because although you might not understand it now, it will become apparent to you. It may be a year's time. It may even be 10 years' time. Like from my family experience, we've been going to this medium for 20 years, and everything she's ever said has been exactly right. The only thing that's been off is the time frame. She said something like, "Oh, this is going to happen in a year." It's like 10 years later or 9 years later, everything she said in that reading that we've gone back and listened to, exactly the same thing has happened. And we're like, well, we now know exactly what she said, but she was like 7 years off. And the reason being is because when you're working with spirit, time is a human thing. So for spirit to say, well, it's going to be 9 months, no, it might be 12. It's going to be somewhere between 9 and 12. Spirit can't predict our human time because, it's not all just linear. It's not from here and here. You've got all time happening at all time, affecting all time all the time. So for spirit to predict how far apart these two timelines are when they're right next to each other, it's like if you get 1,000 harps, looking at those 1,000 harps next to each other, it's going to look like just one piece of string until you get really, really close and you start picking apart each tiny string. But imagine counting each of those strings and you've got 1,000 harps. It's going to be difficult. So never dismiss anything that comes to you through a reading or through your own intuition, because it will be something that you will relate to later on, if not now.
Absolutely. And I just like to speak on that too, that anytime I do personal readings for anybody, if somebody comes to me for a one-on-one, I always let them know, like, the energies of the current moment are what are affecting the outcome of this reading, but that the energies do change, and it's important to be mindful of when the energies change. And also, if you're looking for a specific reading, to set the intention for, if you get specific with your questions, like let's say you're really looking for wisdom on when am I going to find my soulmate? Okay, that's a question I get often. When is my next person going to come? Set a time frame. Get specific. Say, okay, is my soulmate going to come to me in the next month? And or that's just an example, but just really getting specific with your readings is super important, because the more specific you get with your question, the clearer the information can come through to you on the answers that you're looking for. And so I just recommend to anybody, if you're looking for readings, or let's say you've gotten a reading from a reader and you're like, that was way off, that didn't even resonate at all, maybe come back to that, what Aaron just said, that this, first of all, it's most likely going to come to you like 2 years down the road, and it's going to resonate, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, because time is not linear. Time is absolutely stacked. And so just really making sure that you're getting specific with your questions and knowing that that's going to really deliver the clearest message to you whenever it comes to what you're looking for. I pulled a card while you were speaking too, just to kind of get a little bit more wisdom. And it does say caution, but wise action, meticulous attention to detail, and kindness to others. So I just want to speak on it for a moment to know that, like, as you move forward in your spaces and whenever you are trying to align with that which you wish to desire, to know that it is so important to pay attention to the tiny details, because sometimes you can really miss out on aligning with that or connecting with the wisdom of that because you missed out on a small thing, like that kindness that the person at the grocery store showed you. Let's say you're having an off day, okay? You're not in the best mood, and you go to the grocery store and a really polite person holds the door for you or says, hey, how are you doing today? But you're so focused on the fact that you're not having a good day and that you're not really happy with how things are going. And so you might completely miss that nice person that was speaking to you. Maybe that was the opportunity that the universe was speaking about, but because you were focused on other things that don't necessarily align with what you wish to align with, you might miss out on it. And then that, because of that action, that will actually change the energy moving forward, which now produces a new reading and a new light that shines into the situation. So yeah.
I really want to feed onto that. So I just pulled out a card with the question, what blockages are coming for the collective in 2021? So moving past New Year, what's going to be blocking all of us? And again, Gaia's Garden comes in. And Gaia's Garden is, again, speaking about manifestation, reaping what you sow, what you're putting out right now. If you're thinking, next year's crap, Christmas is going to be rubbish, we're in lockdown, this is all rubbish, life's going all wrong, it's not going the way I want it to be, well, you're going to manifest more of that. And, I live in Wales and we've been in lockdown for months now, but to be honest, I couldn't care. I don't watch the news. I don't feed my mind with all this negative stuff. And I just say to people, well, if I'm ill, if I have a cold or the flu or whatever, same as normal. I'm going to stay at home until I'm better, leave it a couple of days before I go hanging out with people. And I just live my life. My life has actually got better since. That's not to be vain or, to show off. It's just in the sense of how you see it. I can quite easily say, I'm isolated, don't see people, or do this, that, and the other. But it's irrelevant because I don't want those things to be more. So moving into the next year is really about focusing on what you want and starting that now. Don't think, that's going to be my New Year's resolution. Maybe set the intention for New Year is going to be the change that you've been expecting, or New Year is the start of your new life and the start of the new world. Coming up to December 21st, this massive, massive timeline split that's happening. And we're really seeing the energies. I've been in the US. From what I've seen, it's getting absolutely manic. In the UK, we're starting to get more protests and more stuff, more uproar going on. So this massive timeline split is so close. And it's really important to raise your vibration before that timeline split, because you don't want to be locked into this 3D materialization or reality of life. You want to go up in the world, quite literally, you want to go up. You want to be manifesting things. That's why manifestation now is moving so quick, because we're at this huge timeline split that hasn't happened for thousands of years on this scale. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. We have the great Jupiter and Saturn conjunction that have all-time effects, all the time. So your future is affecting you now, your past is affecting you now is affecting your past, and now is affecting the future. So what you're thinking about, and if you're thinking, well, maybe this will pass in the next 3 years, well, you're creating this life that you've got now for the next 3 years. If you focus, again, going back to thinking of the new year as that change, and the new year is going to be the day that you are reborn into this new world, into this new life, and you become the person you want to be, but with the intention of building that up between now and the new year. So you're not just saying this is going to happen in the new year, because you're not going to go for a massive transformation instantly overnight. But by building on that between now and then, you're going to see results, and you're going to see that manifestation come into fruition.
Absolutely, 100%. That's why it is so important for us to be able to release that which no longer is serving us, and to really focus on aligning with our true purpose, aligning with the timeline that we wish to follow through with. And I absolutely love pulling cards, because they always do truly align. And the one that I just pulled as I'm speaking says, let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career, okay? Or really, I feel like not so much career, but just as focusing on that timeline that you wish to align with, which maybe that is creating a new career. But this really speaks on how important it is right now, in this now moment, to focus on the positive things and let go of that negativity, let go of that fear. Think about it for just a moment, okay? Whenever you hold fear about a situation, whenever you hold that anger, that frustration, what is it actually doing for you? Is it helping you? Does that fear that you hold about whatever the situation is it helping protect you? I feel most of the time it's not actually helping you. It's holding you back, and it's keeping you from aligning with it or learning the lesson that needs to be learned. Whenever you look at every opportunity as a situation to learn and grow rather than a place of that negative hurt, it gives you the opportunity to really truly align with that which serves you, because I know how hard it can be to let go of that which is no longer serving you. Sometimes you get really hold on to something. Sometimes you're like, no, but wait, this thing, I know it's not serving me. I know it's not doing me any good anymore, but I need it because I love it and it's comforting and it makes me feel good. But whenever you actually take a step back and look at the situation from, I always like to say, from like a third party point of view, something that's not you, it's not you and the situation, but you're actually looking at it from this overview of like, okay, here's me, here's the situation. how is this situation truly affecting my life in all ways? And if it's not serving you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find that it's actually hurting you to hold on to this rather than to allow it to flow from your life like the streams of the water. And whenever you allow that stuff which is no longer serving you to flow from your life, you're clearing the clutter from your stream, and you're allowing that which does align with your purpose to flow in. Because whenever we're holding on to the things that don't serve us, we're actually blocking ourselves from our manifestations. We're blocking ourselves from connecting with that which we want to connect with. And so I just hope that this encourages you guys to know that although it can be hard, and you have to give yourself the honor and the time of, like, if it is a situation where you really don't want to let it go or you're really struggling with it, honor those feelings, honor those emotions, give yourself the time to say, you know what, this is going to hurt, this is going to be difficult, this is going to be something that, you know, it's going to be a new step for me, but honor that feeling and then allow it to flow. Try not to attach yourself to it, because our emotions are fleeting. Our emotions are always changing. And so becoming detached from the outcome of the situation and allowing yourself to flow with that natural state of life is going to bring you so much peace and healing as well. Like I know for myself, whenever I truly allow the transformation to happen and allow myself to say, okay, I honor my feelings, I honor the fact that this is going to hurt, and then I flow with it and I take the steps that I need to allow that stuff to flow from my life, then abundance starts flowing in, because you've just created, you've told the universe, okay, I trust you, universe, I trust that everything is happening for me and through me, and I'm going to allow this to flow. And then the universe says, okay, I see you taking this seriously, I see you trusting the flow, and then it allows that next step to kind of just come your way. And so yeah, I know guys, I know it's harder said than done, but it's really not. Like, if you just hold that within your heart, that everything is going to happen as it should, and just learning the trust, which is a whole step in and of itself, but learn that trust the universe, trust that everything is happening for you, and allow things to flow from your life, and stay strong, and really bring a sense of humor into things. Like, if you can't, I'll tell you the perfect example. So, like, I went for a hike one day and I was having a really tough day. I was really struggling, and I was like, I need to get outside and see Mother Earth and connect with the spirits. And I'm hiking, and I absolutely hit the dust. I hit a patch of mud, and I fell flat in my face in the mud, covered from head to toe in mud. And I sat there for a minute. It hurt. It was not comfortable, okay? But it gave me the opportunity to stop and laugh at myself and say, okay, that was actually pretty funny. Like, I just fell flat on my face as a walking human, like, laughed at myself and laughed at the situation, and brought a lighter energy to the mood. And it totally changed my day. I was able to leave the woods and be like, you know what, life's going to be okay. Like, it's okay to slip and fall sometimes. It might hurt a little bit. We might have to wash the mud off afterwards, but, like, at least I learned, and I'm feeling better, and I experienced something new. And so, yeah, a little personal story on that.
I've had a friend who, the second you see him, you know there's something wrong. And that exact same situation happened with him. He would be focusing on, that he hurt himself, or so really, he'll have a really bad day because of it. So it's really important when something negative, and I say it like that because, again, perception. If you perceive it as negative, it will be negative. Perceive it as positive. What's the harm in that? There's no harm in just seeing everything as positive, and everything is happening for you and not against you. I just want to take a couple of seconds, just make sure that the people on Facebook, because I've got a microphone underneath my phone, so hopefully they can hear you. So all you guys on Facebook, if you can hear Kristen, then drop an 1111 in the chat, so I know that you can actually hear. Otherwise, you're probably just staring at my face, which I hope you don't mind. But yeah, and I want to bring in the energy of the Fool. Well, actually 3 cards. So I want to bring in the Fool, the Hermit, and the 5 of Cups. Now, The fool isn't saying that you're being foolish, isn't saying that you're being stupid, isn't saying that you're doing things all the wrong way. It's asking you to look at what you're actually doing and almost not be logical, but be analytical. And going back to what's serving you, think, okay, could I do without this? Can I let this go? Am I ready to let this? That's a really important thing. Am I ready to let this go? That's a huge thing. And if the answer is no, then why? Why am I still holding on to this? Because it's not serving me. So if I'm not ready to let this go, then what can I do? Or what do I need to heal to be ready? And with the hermit, to find all of that out, it ties in really nicely. The hermit, you need to go within to find your answers. You need to not isolate yourself, but you need to think, well, if I distract myself, if I'm constantly doing and doing and doing and never being, what are you actually doing in a sense of personal spiritual development? If you're constantly distracting your mind and constantly doing, and I made this mistake over the last couple of weeks, and this weekend I had a massive, the weekend didn't go the way I needed it to. And I've realigned that today, and that's what I mean. Going within and not isolating yourself, making sure that you're understanding why you're resisting things or why you're not doing the things that you need to. And the Five of Cups, just making sure that you're not ignoring the things that are really there. It's almost like you're looking and you're seeing half of the picture, and you're like, well, that's not really what I want. But what you're not seeing is all the stuff that you do want that's already there. But you're focusing on the little things that you don't want in your life, which means that it's, again, with manifestation, if anyone watching doesn't quite believe in manifestation or law of attraction, let me put it in a different way. It's not saying necessarily that you magically attract positive things by focusing on positive thoughts. What happens is when you focus on the negatives, you're going to notice the negatives. It's the same as if you focus on a screen, on, say, a dot on the screen. You're going to notice the dots, but you might not see all the shapes around the dot because you're focused on one point. So when you look at the positives, you're going to notice all the positives that appear in your life, all the opportunities, all the synchronicities. So with manifestation, whether you believe that you can reshape, recreate, and manipulate your reality or not is irrelevant. Whether you believe, whether you want to take a spiritual stance on it or scientific, is completely irrelevant. Because the fact is that where you're focusing, and then they're saying where your mind goes, energy flows, where thoughts go. Thoughts become things. If you're thinking, today's going to be a really bad day, you're going to create a bad day, because by setting the intention of today's going to be a bad day, you're already telling yourself everything that's going to happen is going to be bad. Therefore, even if something good happens, you're going to react in a negative way because you've told your brain to react in that way by giving your brain that intention that it's going to be bad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's really important too, especially just speaking on that, creating your reality and knowing that your thoughts really, your mind, guys, your mind is so absolutely powerful, and it's important to pay attention. Like, so you can have this big dream, right? You can say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to create this beautiful job for myself. Okay, so that's your like main thought, right? But then you also have to pay attention to all of the little thoughts that are floating around it. So if you've got your focus, your main thought, but then over here you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, or oh, this is going to fail, or nobody's going to support me, or all of these tiny little things that are kind of floating around, maybe in the back of your head or within your subconscious. Those are going to actually affect the manifestation that you're trying to bring into you. And so that's where what Aaron just said about really paying attention to the healing part. So like whenever you're trying to bring in what's coming and you're like, I'm doing all the things, I'm writing in my journal, I'm focused on what I want, I'm manifesting with water, Kristen, why is this not coming to me? I'm going to be like, okay, well, are you paying attention to what's going on in the background? Because 9 times out of 10, you're actually stopping yourself from your manifestations coming in by all of the clutter that's happening within your mind. And so really stopping and paying attention. Okay, why do I feel like I'm not good enough? And let's address that, and let's heal that, and let's focus on that for a little bit. And then, okay, why do I feel like nobody's going to support me? Let's work on that. Let's heal that as well. And so just knowing that like your power comes from that, but that all of the things within your reality manifest. So a personal example I'll give you guys is in my own experience with partners I've had in the past. It's always been kind of this like in the back of my mind, okay, well, maybe they're cheating on me. And so then later on down the road, it always ends up happening like, okay, they end up cheating on me. Well, I realized in my own space that it's because I'm creating that thought process of, okay, well, my partners are going to cheat on me, so that's just what's going to happen. And I'm actually bringing that energy into the space.
Live on Instagram.
Are we losing the live on Instagram? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we might have to end the live and restart it. I'm not sure exactly. Aaron cut out before it ended, but yeah, just knowing that all of the side things that are happening within your mind, those are all coming to manifestation as well too. So just pay attention to that and heal, give yourself that opportunity to really heal the things that are affecting your space. So for me in that instance, I was able to look and say, okay, why do I feel like my partners are going to end up not being faithful? And it was because somewhere inside of me, I didn't feel like I was enough. I didn't feel like I was enough for the situation or for the relationship. And so I turned my focus back in on myself and said, okay, what do I need to do to realize that I am enough, that I am whole, and that I am worthy of, the love that I desire, and bringing that into my space. And so I just encourage you guys to really focus on what you want, but also focus on the healing. If you come across a block, it's 9 times out of 10, it's something that just needs to be healed within you. And asking for help, knowing that you don't have to go this road alone. Okay. You don't have to just be like, okay, I'm going to create my reality and I have to heal all the things. Like knowing that you can reach out to other people and that you're going to find that support is going to really help you move forward further and connect deeper within yourself. And it's going to give other people the opportunity to heal as well, because we all learn from each other, right? We all learn. And so, if you come to somebody and say, hey, I'm really struggling with this, I don't know what to do, you're also giving them the opportunity to think about it as well. So Dragon, Rose, the globes above my head look like how spirit shows themselves sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Dark Warrior Shadow, I'm so grateful that this resonates. So I'm going to let Aaron join back on. But while we're just hanging out, I'm going to pull a card for us from our angels and see what our angels have to say to us for Aaron's phone. I know he lost, I think his phone might have died. So I'm gonna just pull us an angel card real quick to see what the angels have to say to us, and we're gonna give Aaron a little bit of time to come back through. I'm sure he'll message me, so I'll keep an eye out for him as well. But I really appreciate you guys all holding space and contributing to the conversation. I see all of your comments, and I just really appreciate you guys and the energy you bring, and sharing space. Thank you guys on YouTube as well. I know I haven't addressed you guys in a minute, but thank you all for holding space as well. It's so important, to just be able to learn from one another. So what do our angels have to tell us? What do our angels want us to know for the spaces moving forward, and to be able to focus on healing and aligning with our future and aligning with what we wish to align with? Okay, that's funny. Awesome. Okay, so the card that I pulled is the Peaceful Warrior, and this card really speaks to the fact he'll be back. Okay, yeah, I believe he'll be back too. Thank you so much, M. Fleming. I appreciate you. So just knowing that we all are this warrior spirit, we hold this warrior spirit. We incarnated at this exact moment in time to be transmuting the energies that are happening right now and to be going through this. So you can hold this warrior spirit, but to hold the peace within you, and to know that whenever you come from a peaceful space within, that's how you're really going to be able to fill your divine purpose and move forward. This card also always really speaks to me about community, because no warrior can move forward alone. No warrior is going to go onto the battlefield by themselves and try to take on the tasks ahead of them. And so knowing that you are a peaceful warrior, so you're maintaining that peace and love within your heart, but you're doing so in a way that is connected with community and connected with the people around you, because we really are more powerful whenever we align with one another and whenever we connect with one another. And the energy that we bring whenever we share space can be amplified times 10. Whereas, you on your own, it's beautiful. It's still great, but there's absolutely nothing like combining the energies of all the peaceful warriors. So yeah, I think the artwork on this is really beautiful too. And just knowing that you hold an absolutely beautiful divine light within you, and that whenever you shine this beautiful divine light, it actually activates the people around you, and it activates the people in the spaces around you. And then the other card that came out is the connecting with music card. And I think this card is so important because a lot of the times, at least in my own experience, spirit speaks to me through music, and the lyrics that come through almost always resonate messages. So if you are somebody who is trying to connect with spirit and connect with the messages that spirit has to say, listen to the music, listen to the people around you, listen to the TV shows that you listen to. There's always spirit speaks in so many ways, my friends. It doesn't always have to be in a tarot card. And so just know that, like, always be listening to those synchronicities that are happening. This card also speaks to me too about finding your passion and aligning with that which really resonates with your soul. Like, you have to be able to find the passion that really drives you in order to move forward. So if you're doing something right now and you're like, I thought this was my passion, I thought this was what made me happy, and it's just really not resonating anymore and it's not making you happy, then it's okay to step away from that and to move towards something new, to really allow yourself to continue connecting with what aligns with you. And you're okay to change. It's healthy and good for you to change. And if you decide, today I don't want to listen to music, country music used to be my thing, but now I want to listen to rock and roll, then let yourself step into rock and roll, okay? Because that's how you really change and grow, and finding that passion within. So the angels just want you to know that, like, really honor yourself and honor what brings you happiness, and find the music within your spaces that really inspire you. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you guys so much. I love you all. So while we're waiting for Aaron to come back on, I'm just going to take a moment too to be like, if you guys are looking to connect further, I do offer one-on-one readings, or you can join my Patreon. I just recently got it set up, and I have a lot of really beautiful spaces. You can ask any one of my beautiful Patreon members. They all help create an absolutely amazing community. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you guys, because we all support one another, and it's so beautiful to be able to come together in a space of supporting and sharing this journey, because you really don't have to go it alone. Like, you're a warrior spirit, and you don't want to go it alone. You want to find that community. And so if you're looking for a community, please do reach out and connect with me on my Patreon. I offer a lot. I also offer healing services as well. My Reiki packages are part of that Patreon. So, hi Aaron, did we get caught back on?
So purely because obviously I wasn't planning on needing my phone. I didn't put it on charge.
Yeah.
So my phone's on 3%. So hopefully it'll be enough, because it is on charge. So hopefully I won't disappear again.
Well,
I did try and see if I could do it on my laptop, but there's no desktop version of Live, frustratingly. So I can't join on there. So we'll have to just see if the phone holds out.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for working around the hurdles today and holding this space. It has been so beautiful connecting with you and sharing wisdom through spirit. And I really just want to say, Aaron, I appreciate you. So thank you for jumping through those hurdles and moving forward. So
It's my pleasure. And thank you for agreeing to do a joint live. Like I said earlier, it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So actually jumping out and doing it, especially like Instagram live. Go live on Instagram. It's like, stop me. It's a new environment. I don't know how people react to, I guess it's coming from that place of fear of judgment, which is something that I'm working on. But actually jumping out there and just doing it, because I think that's why the universe has done it today. Just be like, you're going to stop dwelling on this. Just go out and do it. There's nothing to be afraid of. And the universe kind of just affirmed that. So I believe it.
I believe it. Oh, beautiful. Well, I was just pulling some angel cards for everybody. So while you were while you were gone, so it was telling us about our warrior spirit and how we are actually stronger together as a group than we are single on our own. And so I just think that's really beautiful that we were able to join one another and support each other in this jump into the unknown, and how beautiful it has absolutely been.
100%. And I really want to come back to, just before I disappeared, I really wanted to pick up on what you were saying about like loving the self and acceptance. And the card that I pulled out was I've forgotten the card, the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. Again, tying into, because gratitude and manifestation ties in very nicely. But this is more talking about not being selfish. Now, what I always feel from this card is not in the sense of being completely selfless in the traditional sense, but imagine that you've got this incredible gift and you've got this amazing service for humanity and you've got something valuable to offer and you have the potential to touch hundreds, thousands, or even millions around the world. But out of fear of judgment or out of whatever it is that's going on and stopping you, it's selfish to not just go for it, because you're almost, it is literally selfish, because you're saying, well, I'm not going to give you what you need to help you on your journey and to give you the guidance that maybe could save somebody's life, potentially, because you're scared of somebody else's opinion about you. And again, going back to finding that place within yourself, loving yourself wholeheartedly and accepting who you are and owning your divine light, just saying, I'm this person, if you don't like it, go away, because by doing that, you're being selfless. By just saying, this is me, I don't care if you like it, if you don't, then that's fine, that's cool. But you're allowing the people who you need to touch and who need your touch and your impact and your input on whatever it is that you do, whether you're a mechanic or whether you're some kind of celebrity that helps millions of charities around the world. It doesn't matter how big or small your part is. The fact is, like, say you're a plumber, maybe there's a single mother who can't afford to fix her house, her boiler breaks, she needs a plumber. Just happens to be that you're the only plumber in the area who's actually working. So you just saved potentially a single mother from so many problems, purely because you're like, well, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go, yeah, fair enough. You might not like people, you might be an introvert, you might be scared of walking into random people's houses. But if you enjoy plumbing, go and do it, because the impact that you'll have, no matter how big or small, resonates and ripples. And taking conscious action and being human, showing that sense of humility and just doing it because you enjoy it, coming from a place of love and not a place of, okay, I'm going to do this for you and you're going to give me this in return. Instead, create a safe space. Okay, well, we're going to help each other. Don't just say, okay, I'll do this for you, you give me £100. Okay, I'm going to help you, I'm going to do this job for you, but in return, if you just help me out. And it's then, rather than you're paying for a service, it's an exchange. And when mediums and spiritual practitioners talk about an energy exchange in the sense of money, that's really what we're getting at. Is we're not saying, okay, I'm going to give you this, but I want your money. I'm not going to do it unless you pay me. It's saying, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to focus just on you. I don't matter. The whole time I'm with you, this is all about you. There's nothing else that matters in the universe but you in this moment. And until you're satisfied, we're going to be sat here and we're going to focus on you until you get what you need. But in return, because of the energy that I'm giving to you, because of the transformation that I'm hoping to bring to you, and if you do get value from that, then I hope that you would be more than happy to give some kind of exchange in return. And in the sense of money, it is an energy exchange, because money, you have to do stuff to get money. So you're putting in energy to receive paper, and that paper is then used in a divine energy exchange to say, well, you've done me a great service, here you go, here's something to help you support yourself and to carry on doing the work for other people, to give the same value that I've had from you today.
Absolutely. It's so important that energy exchange, and energy exchanges can look like many different things. So if you're at a place where you're working with somebody, and you always have to make sure you're on the same page whenever it comes to the energy exchange. Like, sometimes the money is really the only energy exchange that you may have to offer that comes from your heart, and that's what feels right. But sometimes you can exchange your services too. Like I know a lot of people in the spiritual community, at least, that will say, hey, I'm looking for a soul realignment, and I'd really love to connect with that. Would you be willing to, trade some Reiki healing, and that can be our energetic exchange. So exchanging your gifts with one another can be really an absolutely beautiful way of supporting the growth and the healing, because ultimately at the end of the day, your heart should be focused on the healing that's happening and the healing that you're sharing with one another. And so, how can you best show up to support, if it's the money, if that's the best way that you can support somebody, absolutely, that's amazing. And that's how our society at the current timeline we're at right now is set to honor that exchange. But I encourage you guys to think out of the box and say, what can I offer as an energetic exchange? Is there another opportunity here for me to be able to support each other in a way that is, heart-centered and moving forward in that direction? So, but yeah, absolutely.
And that's when this time split, what I'm noticing is a lot of the old ways of life is coming back. So if you, let's take a little trip back to 1870. If you say an elderly lady needed some work done on her house, but she didn't have much money, but she really needed the work done because it was crucial. Her house was falling apart. She was getting sick because she needed the work done. Maybe her roof was leaking and, letting in water and cold and damp. And so she finds somebody who can do the work, but they say, well, I'm going to need something in return. And she says, well, I can't give you money. I don't have any money. I'm really poor. I'm just kind of hoping for a kind gesture. And this work, when he says, okay, well, I can't do it completely for free because I've got family and they need, I need to look after them. But in return, because you've got a big house, you've got plenty of space, and it's only you living here. So me and my family are in a really bad situation, and we need somewhere to live. So how about I do all of the work for free, and I do it for you, and in return, me and my family can come and stay here, and we can use this house as our home so that we're safe. And in return, anytime you need anything whilst we're here, I will help you. I will cook for you. I will do your gardening. I will fix any part of your house. I'll do anything that needs doing if you can give us a place to stay. Now, if you said that to somebody now, chances are they'll probably say, why do you want to live in my house? Who are you? I don't even know you. But back then, that would have been, wow, yeah, okay, I've got the room. Well, you can do the work. I haven't got money. That's a solution. Let's do it. And now we're starting to see that level of thinking come back, where it's not all focused on money. It's if I can do something for you and you can do something for me, let's work together. It's not necessarily about, oh, well, you're a stranger, I don't know you, I don't want you near my house. We're seeing a lot of people connecting on a much deeper level. And I saw that 2 years ago. I mean, this has been building up for a long time. It's not just this year that suddenly appeared. So a couple of years ago, I was actually hoping I was living in a car. And I put a random post on a Facebook group, say in a random town, saying, okay, this is my situation. I don't have any money. I don't have a job. I have literally nothing. But I'm asking, can somebody please help me? Can somebody give me a place to stay for a couple of months till I get myself on my feet? As soon as I'm in work, then I'll pay you, and I'll pay my way, and I'll be off and out and do life as soon as possible. An hour later, I got an amazing comment back saying, okay, we've got a place, we've got a spare room, wife works in Bristol, husband's ex-army, he's at home all day. When do you need it by? The next day I got on a train, I got in a car with, I wouldn't recommend this, obviously, I know in America it's very different. In the UK, it seems to be that mentality that strangers, when you get a lift, is half okay. I appreciate it. America is a lot different to here. So I got into this random stranger's car, and he was babbling. I could tell he was so nervous the whole way. And he drove me 5 miles into the woods. And I started to think, where you said you lived. But we got to his house, and his wife, and they were absolutely lovely. And it turned out that his son was killed by an IED in Afghan. And he said to me, my son was always bringing people home who needed places to stay. He was always like, this is my friend who needs a place to stay. And he was always bringing people back to help them. And he says, I don't want money from you. He gave me money. To this day, they won't accept money back. I keep saying, I've got a bit of money for you. And they're like, no, you keep it. You look after yourself. And John said to me, he's like, promise me one thing, man. And what's that? And he said, whenever you get the chance to pass it on, please take the opportunity. I don't want anything from you. I don't want money. I don't want you to do any grand gestures. I just want you to promise me that when you have the opportunity to pass on the gesture that we've given to you, and that you have the opportunity to help somebody else, please take it. And that's the mentality that this world needs to go back to. It's not about money. It's not about what other people can give back. It's about the service you're offering and saying, please pass this on. It's like handing that baton of love and light and compassion and kindness to the rest of the world and saying, I'm helping you because I want to see you grow. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you shine and become the person that you want. Maybe, right now you might smell a bit. Right now you might look really rough. Right now, as far as I know, you could rub my house clean. But the fact is, I'm doing this because I really feel it deeply. And this is coming from so much love. Even if you stole things from me, I have that peace of mind that I did this out of love. And just the fact that I'm trying to pass it on, no matter what the outcome, I'm passing on something that has so much meaning deep inside of me.
Absolutely. That's such a beautiful story, Aaron. I'm so grateful for you sharing that bit of wisdom. I think it's so important that we see ourselves from a place of, I do have something to offer and I can help support somebody else, even if it is just by your kind words or your support by just simply being there. You know, it's like, I just hope that this encourages everybody who's listening today to know that you do have something truly unique and beautiful to offer those that you interact with, and that whenever you give yourself the opportunity to do so, you might just be really surprised at how you can change somebody's life. You know, I had an opportunity once where it was very similar in that somebody needed a ride. They were kind of stranded in the middle of nowhere. I live in a very remote area, and they needed a ride back to town. And most people would say, hey, don't necessarily go down that road, don't necessarily help people out. But because I trust the universe and I trust that everything is going to happen as it should, I said, hey, I see you need a ride. Let's go ahead and get you where you need to go. And this guy started opening up and telling me his whole story, and he'd been through this situation where his life had truly fallen apart, and me opening up and just giving him a ride to where he needed to go, he was able to see that it like sparked that bit inside of him that like there is a bit of hope for humanity, like there are kind people out there, and all he needed was that one kind gesture to be able to be like, you know what, I have a little bit of hope in humanity again. Maybe I can step out and feel my purpose and step further into, a space of love. And he's connected me with since then and been like, hey, I just wanted to say thank you for the the kindness you shared with me that day. It truly made my whole day. So just knowing that just the kindness that we share with one another can be absolutely beautiful. So
that's the thing. It's easy to look at somebody we don't know and be fearful and not want to communicate with them because we don't know them. But the connections that you can create from random people, like the reason that we're doing this now is because I stepped out of my comfort zone and went on a group call that I was hesitating for. Week after week, I was like, I'm going to do it this week, and it doesn't happen. I'm like, no. Like anxiety would come up or fear would come up, and I just thought, yeah, well, okay, sure, let's go for it. And it always, whenever you go out and just do it, whether it's big or small, there will always be something valuable from going out of your comfort zone. And whether that's you create a connection with somebody else or whether you just learn a lesson in yourself, when you get out of your comfort zone, that's when you learn the valuable lessons. Because if you're comfortable, you're not taking things in. You're comfortable, so you relax. And you're like, life's pretty good. Yeah, I feel comfortable. Yeah, I got money. Yeah, that's fine. But then you get on maybe you're scared of flying, and you go on an aeroplane, and you go to a different country that you could never go to before. Well, you just had an amazing experience that you would never have had unless you got out of your comfort zone. And the people you would meet in that different country that you never would have gone to because you were never stepping out of your comfort zone. So you see, in that sense, everything creates value. Everything creates experience. And experience is lessons. You learn only through experience, which is why I would always say the school system, like for me, never worked. I mean, I left school when I was 15 because it just never worked. So I left school with no qualifications, no exams, no nothing to my name. Yet I haven't needed anything that I learned in school because the school system was basically saying to me that it doesn't matter what experience you've got. It's purely about what you can say. What you can say, I read this, so this is true. What I learned was go out into the world and see it for yourself, do it for yourself and learn it for yourself. If you want to If you want to build a business, build a business. Don't spend 5 years at university studying how to start a business. You can go online. We have the beauty of the internet. Even before we have books, you can learn how to start a business, what you need to do. You can speak to, like in the UK, you can speak to like citizens advice, you can speak to councils, you can speak to support workers. In the US, I'm sure you have similar things. So you don't need to drum yourself with this, in my opinion, and this may not be true for everyone, but in my opinion, the indoctrinated version of life that doesn't teach you how to live, doesn't teach you how to pay your bills, how to do your taxes, how to build a life for yourself. It teaches you how to conform, how to live in a society that doesn't want you to succeed. It doesn't want you to become a billionaire. It doesn't want you to have power over other people. It wants you to be lower. It wants you to go, I need an employer to give me money. It doesn't want you to say, I'm going to employ 10,000 people and pay them 10 times the minimum wage because I want to. It's the way the world's set up. And through my experience is what matters. But with that, never stop learning, because knowledge is also power. But it's the kind of knowledge that you're allowing yourself to be fed. Absolutely. That makes a difference.
Absolutely. So just while we're talking, I went ahead and pulled another card. And the card that we got is card number 20, renewal, which says review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future. Understanding your life purpose and releasing judgments of yourself and others, which I just think it's so absolutely beautiful that this card's going to show up during this conversation, because it's really saying, allow yourself to trust. I know that in the past, our society, or the situations that we've been taught have taught us, be fearful of those around you, or place this mistrust of people around you. But I just encourage you to try to step out of that mindset of fear and step into the alignment of unconditional love, because whenever you emit the vibration of unconditional love, other souls that also align with that vibration are going to be what come your way. And so really just reviewing the situation from a place of what am I aligning with? Is the feelings that I'm feeling right now, are they from a fear-centered negative place, or do they come from a place of love? And I challenge you to, if it does come from that fear-based place, to try and focus on what it would feel like to align with that unconditional love, and to release the fear and the judgment that you hold over the stranger, the person that you don't know, because the situation is you don't know this. You have no idea what exactly this person holds or what their trauma is that they carry, and you might just change their whole day by stepping out and aligning with that unconditional love. Because really, when you think about it, everybody wants love. Everybody wants to be connected with that unconditional love in our heart spaces. And it's unfortunate that in the past, a lot of our experiences might not necessarily align with that, but we have the power in this now moment to change that. And so whenever you choose to align with that unconditional love and understanding what your purpose is, and understanding that you have the power to change your reality to connect with that unconditional love, you are emitting that vibration out into the universe and into the frequency of the thing that is all. And whenever you change your vibration, you change the vibration of the people around you as well. Your vibration actually really truly does affect the people around you. For example, if you're having a really good day and you're excited and you feel good, and you walk into a room full of people that are maybe not having a great day, and maybe they're like kind of, maybe you walk in and everybody's kind of like in this grumpy mood, but you walk in with your high vibe energy and your excitement and your happiness, you might be really surprised to see that everybody in the room kind of notices your higher vibrational energy, and they're kind of like, oh, what is Kristen so happy about? What is she so excited about? This is getting me curious, and maybe I have something to smile about. Maybe I have something to laugh about. Now, it might not be the case that it affects everybody, but I can guarantee you, because in my own experience, I've seen this happen so often, where it's like, and the opposite can happen too. Like if you walk into a room and you're in not such a great mood, you might bring the people around you down. So just being aware that the vibration that you carry and that you hold truly does have the ability to affect the people around you. And so whenever we focus on coming from that unconditional love and just sharing that with others, that we can actually help raise the vibration of the people around us, and encouraging others to be in this heart-centered place of really, like, 2021, guys, it's new earth, it's coming, it's here. So let's align with that high vibration and share love with one another always. It's so important.
Exactly. There's a couple of things I want to pick up on is with attracting people who you're aligned with. You will always attract the people that you need in your life. Now, there's a bit of a catch here. You could say, well, you're attracting these people because you're in a low vibration, you're focusing on the negative, so you're attracting negative in. But there's also the side that says that you're attracting the negative people because you need to understand the negativity that you're living with and the negativity that you're aligning with, which is why if you're really depressed, focusing on your own depression, most of the people in your life will also be depressed, because you need to have that external, you need to see, well, they're really depressed. That's really hard to deal with. It's really hard to be around somebody who only focuses on the negative. That's not to say that if you are depressed that people don't want to be around you, but it's saying that looking at it from a third person point of view and seeing yourself in another person in the sense of how they are and how they behave and how they react really shows you, wow, I don't want to live like this.
Yeah.
And then through that, because you've brought those people in, because you're aligned with that, you can then start that transformation stage, and you can start to rebuild yourself in a much more positive way. But also what you were saying about being in a room and exchanging energy, you'll notice if you're in a room and somebody that I live with is angry all the time, just constantly angry, whenever the room will be very, very positive. When he walks in, it goes, you can feel the anger, you can feel the anxiety, you can feel just such a damp, dark energy. And the room goes quiet, the room just dead. It goes from laughter and conversation to high vibe, loads of energy flowing everywhere to closed. Nothing, no words, no laughter, no voice, and that very shallow breathing, and you can feel the anxiety in the room. And that happens no matter who you are. You will feel when somebody is in that state and they walk into a room. And that's why, it is a really common thing. Oh, well, the energy in this room's gone dead. Why? Because somebody's changed their vibe. Somebody's came in with a different vibe to the rest of the room. And everyone's instantly picked up and they're like, oh, they're not going to react very well to this because they're not feeling it. So if we're really high vibe, they're low vibe, they're going to react with even more low vibe in resistance to the high vibe that we're giving off. But that can also happen with, it goes the same with if you are depressed and you're hanging around with people who are affirming depression, who are talking about depression, talking about negative mental health. Again, you're affirming it. You're keeping yourself in that low vibration. By changing up your friends, maybe if you've got a few friends who are also depressed, that doesn't say to cut them out of your life, but to not spend all of your time with the people who are reflecting or mirroring how you're feeling. Spend the majority of your time doing things that either make you happy or did make you happy, to rekindle that positive feeling. But also hanging around with people who raise your vibration, make you feel good, give you compliments, just say things that make you laugh or smile, even if you don't feel like smiling or laughing or whatever externally. If it makes you smile or laugh internally, then that's what you need to focus on, because that's what's going to slowly, it's not going to happen overnight. It'd be foolish to think, I'm really depressed today, right, if I hang around with James tomorrow, I'm going to be really happy and it's going to kill my depression. That would be naive, and that would cause you a lot of problems. If you think, okay, if I hang around with this person most of the time, they're really happy, they're pretty much never negative, they never talk about negative stuff. Well, if I surround myself with more of that, over time it's going to shift the way that my mind works. I'm constantly hearing about positive stuff. It's like I was in my last relationship, I made the mistake of allowing my own stress and my internal battles to come out, because I was always talking about negative stuff. I was always focusing on the negatives. My partner at the time, I didn't see it until I started healing from it. And I realized, wow, I must have really had a negative impact on her because of the way that I was behaving. But I couldn't see it. Because she didn't communicate to me any concerns, and that's the other important thing. If there is somebody in your life who's focusing a lot on the negatives, it's a difficult one. Sometimes reach out. If it feels right, reach out and talk to them. But at the same time, don't force it. Never force help on somebody, because if they're not ready for it, it will make things worse. But just voice a concern, even if it's just once. Just say, hey, I'm a bit worried about you. I've noticed that your behaviour's change or your energy's changing. Do you want to talk? And just throw that out there. And if they say no, then that's fine. You can leave that. But by putting it out there and holding, just saying the space is there. I'm holding the space. Whenever you need to talk, whenever you feel like it, just reach out. Because that then allows that person to think, because they might not realize how they're behaving. And they might then think, yeah, no, I've been different. Yeah, I've changed. Why am I suddenly focusing on the negatives? I'm not a negative person, which then allows them to start the transformation. But if you stay quiet because you don't want to bring it up, you're enabling it. You're enabling their pits of despair and depression and negativity. You're enabling it by not just saying, okay, I've recognized the change. I'm here if you want to talk. It's okay if you don't want to talk today, a month, a year, whenever you're ready. I'm here. I just wanted to let you know. That's a really important thing, that we, as a society, break the stigma on mental health, because there is so much stigma. Somebody with depression, you don't want to bring up certain things. Not always the case. There's so many, like the whole thing, and I can understand people get triggered by a lot of things, but I think, again, by affirming that there are all these triggers, creates the triggers in the first place. Because triggers that never used to be triggers are now really big triggers for a lot of people, especially young people. And it's almost creating a trend. It's like, it's not saying that it's trendy to be this way or to think this way or to feel this way. But by constantly affirming it to society, the brain is so powerful. There's like, well, loads of people are doing this, loads of people are going for this, loads of people are feeling like this. I can too. Oh, wow, no, I feel like that. I'm going to do that. And the brain is a magnificent thing, and it's so important that you be very careful of what you feed it and what you give your attention. Which is why I don't watch TV, I don't watch the news, I don't watch anything low vibration, I don't watch mainstream media. I watch things on like Gaia, YouTube, random documentaries about like aliens and ancient civilizations and fairy lore and whatever. Because I'm just not interested in like Love Island or random TV programs that mean nothing. And it all just goes back to what you're feeding your mind. It's either holding you in a place of judgment, holding you in a place of trauma, depression, or negative vibration, or it's allowing you to grow. If it's not allowing you to grow, like I don't know if you're familiar with Love Island, this TV show in the UK that's literally just about random people on a beach, all with these ideal beach bodies, which make people think, oh, my body's not right for a beach. Again, it's saying to you, if you don't look like this, then you're not going to be a celebrity, you're not going to be famous, you're not going to be happy. And it's not allowing you to grow, because it's a meaningless program, watching random strangers fall in love on a beach with all of them have like really chiseled bodies and look really aesthetic, modern aesthetically pleasing, should I say. And it doesn't have any value. Whereas you don't watch a video that, teaches you about, some spiritual concept you've always wanted to learn, or something about psychology that you're really interested in, or something about trees that you didn't know before. You're growing, which means you're expanding who you are. And not just who you are mentally, emotionally, physically, just in every way you're growing by learning information that's expanding you rather than contracting.
Absolutely. I think too, Aaron, it's so important whenever you are reaching out to the people that you love. I really am grateful that you brought up the communication factor. Whenever somebody is withdrawn from you or the energy has changed, whenever you acknowledge that change and you bring that to the surface, that's giving you both the opportunity to address the healing that needs to happen. And you'll always know, the best way to tell whenever you're communicating with somebody, if you're worried about the triggers or the frustration that might come with it, really connecting with your heart before you start the communication, and making sure that you're coming from a place of that heart-centered love and knowing that you have their best interest at heart, and that you're not trying to judge them for where they're at or be angry or frustrated. Like you're allowed to have your feelings. You're 100% justified in your feelings. But whenever you are communicating with another, really just connecting with that heart-centered love and opening up the space for open communication that is within the best interest of both of you. So that way you can clear the energy, clear that negative space, give the opportunity for growth. And then that also kind of releases that negative attachment that you might have. So if you decided not to open up and say, hey, I've noticed the energy's changed between us, can we talk about it? If you choose to just say, the energy's changed, I don't know what's going on, I don't want to trigger them, I'm going to just walk away. Well, now you've created a karmic pattern that might just show up later in your life, or even just like this negative association that now you're going to always kind of like carry with you. And so whenever you address the situation and you give the opportunity, it's like on them at that point to say, yeah, I'm going to meet you halfway and I'm going to show up for this conversation, or I'm not. But it kind of releases that energetic tie that you now hold to the situation by creating it. So I just encourage you to like always connect with your heart on something if you're not sure, and say, I'm going to release the fear and judgment of the outcome of this conversation. Like, I don't have to control where things are going to go. I don't have to, things don't have to be this exact specific way, but just opening up and creating the opportunity and then allowing whatever happens to happen from there. It's going to give you a lot of peace in your own space to be able to move forward with that. And just to bring the cards back into it, because I'm really enjoying the wisdom that Spirit's adding to our conversation here. But we got the Queen of Summer, which really speaks to listening to your heart. It literally says, listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust, and taking care of others perhaps too much. And so just knowing that whenever you do listen to your heart and you allow yourself to show up from that heart-centered space, that you're really taking care of yourself as well. Because like I said, if you're experiencing a situation that's not really vibing with you or the way that you want anymore, and you just say, okay, I'm just going to walk away from this without addressing it, there's going to always be this like level of dissonance within you. It's going to be something that your mind's going to come back to. But whenever you address it and you listen to your heart and you open yourself up to the healing that can happen within these spaces, it gives you the opportunity to heal as well. So, and you create the opportunity for others to heal, which I just think is so absolutely important. Kind of like my philosophy in life is like, healing needs to happen, guys. Like we have to be able to heal and move forward within our spaces. And how we do that is by showing up for ourselves. And whenever we show up for ourselves, then we can show up better for others. And so, I just think that's really beautiful.
By opening up to difficult conversations, and like the anxiety that I felt going live on Instagram, I found everything so far has allowed me to heal. I wasn't expecting to heal myself through conversation. There's things that I've been saying that, as I'm saying, I'm like, you need to listen. I can hear my higher self like, yeah, you need to listen to what I'm saying now, because this is what's there. So it's really allowed me to heal. And if you don't go out for difficult conversations, you always have that question, what if, which is a trauma response. You go, I really wanted to do that, because you didn't do it and you didn't follow what your heart and your soul was wanting to do. It traumatizes you, because you're like, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? What am I'm holding myself back. I'm stopping my own success. So it's important to just, no matter how, and I appreciate it, it's scary. Doing new things is scary. I think the biggest thing that got me over my fear of doing new things was skydiving. Jumping out of a plane to 15,000 feet is the most terrifying experience you can have. But what most people don't realize is that the second you hit the air and you feel the cushion of the air, you don't feel like you're falling towards the earth. You feel like you're gliding above. You feel like you're at one with the air. You're not falling through it and crashing to the ground. And in that moment, I remember thinking, the parachute might not go off, and I hit the ground. But look at this view. Look at this moment. Look at what I'm experiencing right now. I don't care if I hit the ground and end up dead in 10 minutes. Because right now, if I died when I hit the ground, then I'm going to die happy, the happiest I've ever felt, because I just went out and did it, and the experience I'll never forget. So it's really important to make sure that you're not having that what if question in your mind. And I want to bring in another card that I pulled just a minute ago, the eyes of beauty, seeing that positivity in everything that you do and having those positive expectations for what you do, and also having a clear vision. Now, it's fair enough, like you were saying about having a conversation, opening it up, coming from a place of the heart, because you're saying, my clear vision for this conversation is to heal, is to help, is to enable this person to release whatever trapped emotions or whatever trauma that they're going through at the minute. And by having that clear vision, again, the same with manifestation, with having any kind of conversations or communications, or even just experience. I remember sitting in the plane and thinking, I'm going to hate this, I'm going to hate this, I'm going to hate this. And then it got to it, and I was like, well, it's too late now. You've got to go for it. Because you're here, you're already here. So just do it. And how that resonates for me in everyday life is, although in that experience, that came to me because I was already 15,000 feet in a plane and I had to jump off because, it was what I was there for. I couldn't chicken out and go, no, I'm going to land with you guys. I don't want to jump. I was being present rather than worrying about what will happen when I jump out. What happens if? What happens if? And again, although I thought the parachute might not go off, but rather than thinking, shit, the parachute might not go off. No, that's bad. I thought, look at the experience I'm having. It doesn't matter about the negatives because the positives, as long as I choose to accept them and I choose to see that they're there, and again goes to your perception of whether you see it as positive or negative, they will always outweigh the negatives. No matter how you look at them, the positives will always outweigh the negatives as long as you know how to look for the positives or how to perceive the positives. Because sometimes the positives are right in front of us, but our perception creates the negative energy. Even in the best experience of life, you can look at it and say, this is the worst time of my life. But actually it's the best. And you'll look back 10 years later and say, I'm so glad I went through that. I'm so glad I had that experience, because as much as I couldn't see it then, that experience is the reason that I am who I am. Maybe not directly, but if I didn't have that experience, then this wouldn't have happened, and then that wouldn't have happened, and this wouldn't have happened, and everything else might not have happened, which means I'll be a different person to who I am right now. And I really want to bring this into a sense of your entire life. Now, whether you have had a life of absolute torture or you've had the best life and you've always had everything you've ever dreamt of straight away, just look at it like this. The person that you are now, or the person that you are becoming now, you are that person because there is a purpose for you. You have a divine purpose, and whether you can see it now or not, the purpose is that you bring value to the people in your life. And the way that you can know that is because they're in your life. If you didn't bring any value to anyone, you'd have nobody in your life. You would be completely isolated. And if you are isolated now, that's not to say that you don't bring value to anyone. That's saying that the people who used to be in your life didn't bring value to you. And you had to be isolated so that you can find new people. And if you didn't isolate yourself, you'd still be surrounded by the people who didn't bring you value and were taking your value away, because they were sucking it. You were giving them value, but they were just taking your energy, not giving you anything back. Again, going back to the divine energy exchange. Every time you give in the form of energy, in the form of money, in physical action, no matter what it is, even just thought and vibration, if you're not receiving as much as you're giving, it's not saying that you have to expect them to give. It's more, if you're giving to somebody but they're not willing to at least accept your energy and appreciate you for giving that energy, you don't need that in your life, because they will be zapping your energy and draining you. So if you are alone, just remember that it's not to isolate you, but it's to align you with who you really are and to help you to figure out who you are, because you can only really discover yourself by being alone. You have to be lost to find yourself. How can you find yourself if you've always got GPS on your phone? Sometimes this is what I did when my ex-partner left. I was all over the place. But rather than focusing on that, I went into nature. I walked miles and miles a day. I remember leaving my house at 10 o'clock at night and getting back at 6 o'clock in the morning, just walking for miles, understanding myself, thinking, why am I so broken about this? What do I need to heal from? What is this teaching me? And you know what? I am so glad that relationship ended the way it did. Although at the time I was like, this does not need to be the case. Now I see the value in the experience, and I wouldn't have it happen in any other way. So it's really important to just try to look for the positives. Whether you can see them clearly or not, just try to focus your mind on what you're gaining and achieving as opposed to what you're losing and failing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's really important too that we know that whenever we create the dynamic of I need this person or I need this thing in order to be happy, you're actually giving your power away to that person or to that thing. And so whenever you hold your power within yourself and you say, I appreciate this person, I appreciate this situation, I appreciate this thing, that's a different standpoint of I hold my power. I don't need this person to be happy, but I need myself to be happy, and I need to be able to create the spaces within myself to be happy. And if you are in a relationship or with somebody else, or even just in a place where you're so distracted and focused on all the things going on around you that you haven't really taken the time to look within and know what does make you happy and what you can do to be happy from within, that really takes that's like giving your power away and not being able to hold it within you. And so, I challenge you to look at every obstacle that you come across or every situation that brings you discomfort as an opportunity to find the power that you hold within your being and to figure out how you can come from a place of creating your own happiness within. Because I'm just going to tell you guys from my own experience, whenever you find that way to create the happiness within you, no matter what is happening around you, the world could be falling apart, you could be losing your house, you could be losing your job, but if you find that happiness from within, nothing else really can take that away from you, and you're always going to be able to overcome and really really just be able to grow and never lose that sense of like hope and peace and happiness within your soul. And so how better do you learn what makes yourself happy than by taking the time? And sometimes it's not a choice. Sometimes it's like Aaron said, your partner leaves and you're like, but I didn't want this. This isn't this isn't the situation I wanted to deal with. So the universe will put you into a place of where you need to be. Like in that moment, you needed to be alone in order to connect with yourself and find okay, I don't have my partner anymore. What's going to make me happy? What really actually makes me happy? And it gives you the freedom too, because now you no longer have this person that's with you that's like, well, this is what I like to do. This is what makes me happy. This is what we do together to be happy. You're with yourself and you're in a situation where you're like, okay, I'm by myself. What actually makes me happy? And then you try new things. And whenever you try a new thing and it doesn't make you happy, you're like, okay, well, now I know that doesn't make me happy. And so whenever you align with people in the future that are doing things that don't make you happy, you're able to come from that like inner wisdom of like, no, this doesn't align with me or what I like to do. Or the opposite of, hey, you know what? I've actually found that I really, really like meditating. This is something that brings my soul happiness and peace. And so whenever you align with other people that also meditate, you're like, okay, I can initially like connect with that because you're aware of what makes you happy in your heart and in your soul. And so, I know it can be hard to be alone. I can resonate with it. Like it's definitely a challenge to be like, all right, I've got to come home to myself tonight. I've got to wake up alone on my birthday. Looks like it's just going to be me opening presents on Christmas. But like, I'm able to give myself the opportunities of like, okay, how am I going to wake up today and find that happiness within my space? Because whenever you rely on somebody else to create that happiness for you, you're giving your power away, and it's not really going to make you happy because it's somebody else imposing that happiness on you rather than just waking up and feeling that happiness within your soul. So absolutely beautiful, Aaron. Thank you for that.
So, I just couldn't have put that better myself, to be honest. You have to be, like I said, you have to be put in a position where you are on your own to figure yourself out. And the journey that I'm on now, although, just developing my spirituality for coming up 7 years now, and I never went out there. I had a page that I never posted on, I never did anything with, and it was only through being on my own. And I thought, I want to do something. I want to create content. I want to do something that's going to give something to other people, because at the time I was a construction worker, hated my job. I was so unhappy, but I couldn't see it because I was wrapped up in a relationship. I couldn't see what I needed because I was trying to figure out what the relationship needed. And through relationship problems, I was completely blinded to how I was becoming. I was becoming so depressing in myself. I was becoming so negative because I was worried about the negatives in a relationship. And what I see now is that, no, it's not necessarily saying that just because the relationship was negative, but because it wasn't serving my purpose and it was blocking me from doing what I needed to do. So as soon as that phase of my life ended, I was then pushed to think, what do I want? What do me as a random soul, alone person need? What makes me happy? What do I enjoy? What do I need to do for me and only me? And I spent weeks and weeks and weeks literally just completely isolated on my own. And at times I thought, well, this is crap. I'm isolated. I don't really see or speak to anyone. And then moving forward, I was like, do you know what? No, I need to be alone. I'm enjoying being alone. I'm enjoying my own process and learning who I am at my core. Because by learning who you are at your core on your own, and again, like I said earlier, not showing people the process, but showing the result. I went so deep inwards that, to be honest, I had a bit of trouble putting it back together again. I literally ripped myself apart to think, how does this machine that is Aaron work? What ticks the cogs in this machine? How does this brain work? How does this mind work? And a very valuable thing that I found was counselling. And I know that the counselling seems to be one of those things a lot of people, mainly in the UK, say it never works. It doesn't work. It's pointless. Now, if anyone watching is in counselling and having that experience, I want to offer you a different perspective on counselling. Use that counsellor to literally just say everything that's on your mind, everything you're worried about, everything you're scared of, and just say, look, okay, I don't know why. This is what I think. Every day I wake up and I think this. I don't know why. And don't expect the counsellor to give you the answers, because that's not what counselling's for. Counselling, the same as like spiritual therapy that I do, is literally just talking. And by just talking, like I said, open up that space with the intention of coming from the heart to just heal. Just by talking and saying exactly what's going on deep in your mind, you're releasing all this trapped emotion and this trapped trauma that is buried so deep inside you because you've probably never explored it before. Because as humans, we don't explore everything that's going on inside of us. So use counseling or spiritual therapy or whatever you want to use, whether it's some kind of psychotherapy. Use it as a means to literally just vent everything that's on your mind. And I know, you get into that mindset, I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what's going on in my mind. Okay. So how can you figure that out? What is stopping you from seeing what's... Because there is something...
Oh no, we lost. Oh no, I don't know why I lost the video. Hold on, audio, hold on. Oh. Oh my gosh, YouTube. Thank you guys for sticking around and hanging out. I don't know exactly what happened to the audio here on... I don't know what happened to the audio, but maybe I don't know. Thanks, Abby. I appreciate it. I don't know what happened to my Instagram, but I can't hear you. I don't think Aaron knows that I can't hear him, and I don't know how to fix it. But I'm sure whatever he's saying is good. I'm not sure what happened to the audio, but it has completely cut out on my end. This has been such a great learning experience. No. Yeah, that'd be good. Oh my gosh. Okay, if you guys are on Instagram right now and you can hear me speaking, can you guys drop some 1111s so you can let me know if you guys can hear me? Can you guys drop some 1111s so I know you can hear me? Hi, Aaron. Welcome back.
Yeah, there's no audio. There's no audio.
No, you can't hear me now? Oh, no. Well, maybe that's divine timing, just telling us that that we need to go ahead and wrap up this beautiful live. You can't hear him. Okay, yeah, so nobody can hear me. That's okay. Beautiful. Yeah, I think Spirit wants us to end it. Agreed.
Trying to lip read.
Okay, maybe this is Spirit's guide saying
that's
that.
That's to go and come back. Can you like?
What if I end? This is.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
You can hear me, but they can't hear me. Okay. Okay, I'm going to end it. Do you want to restart this and maybe, continue the conversation? I know Instagram sometimes has a time where you can't continue on. So I'll end this live and we'll jump back on. Okay. Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you guys so much. Share to IGTV. Oh, goodness. I don't even know. Okay, thank you, YouTube. I don't know. It's gonna make me choose a title right now. Tarot and spiritual chat. I'll edit it later. It'll be good. Oh my goodness. YouTube, this has been so much fun. I hope you guys have learned all of the lessons from today because, wow, there has been a lot. Thank you guys so much on the Instagram. The live cut out of the audio there, so we're just restarting this live back up so we can continue this absolutely beautiful conversation. I thank you all so much for watching and listening. I'm not sure what happened with the audio there, but we lost it just a little bit, so thank you all for jumping over to the new stream, and I'm grateful that we can connect and join in this beautiful conversation and contain just really healthy communication and speech, and so that way we can all learn and grow from Spirit. This has been such a beautiful learning experience. I think everybody can hear each other now.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, yeah.
Okay, good. How is your Facebook group doing since we have a
So when my phone died, I kind of cut the Facebook short, but I'm going live on Wednesday with some individual readings on there. I think a lot of people that tuned in on there tonight were looking for individual readings. So I just said, well, if you want to continue listening to our discussion, hop onto Instagram, but I'll be live on Wednesday. So
okay, beautiful. Awesome. What a beautiful opportunity to learn and grow today, right?
100%. Definitely been one of growth. Out of the blue as well, completely random and synchronistic. I mean, when I was live on Facebook, I kept seeing 7s and 11s on the screen the whole time. 7s and 11s.
Good.
So it's definitely been a synchronistic time.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I, too, have been able to learn so much from the conversation. So very appreciative of being able to come together and hold a beautiful conversation. And thank you so much to everybody that has joined in the chat and just held sacred space together. It's so important to just be able to hold high vibes with one another. You know, it really does matter the people that join in and just sharing lovely energy and space with each other. So...
Even if it is a bit all over the place and mixed.
Yes, the ability to overcome challenges, guys. Like, if I can just inspire any of my amazing soul family that is watching right now, like, I hope, if anything else, this inspires you guys to know that, like, you can do this yourself. You can connect with another amazing creator that you vibe with and join on a live and step out of your comfort zone and try something new, because like I said before, like, what's the worst that's going to happen, right? Like, it might glitch out on you. You might have to start over. You might have to jump over hurdles and go to new things, but opportunity to learn and grow has been absolutely beautiful. So I hope you guys are all encouraged and inspired to start your own lives and hold your own, spiritual conversations, because like I was saying earlier, we all hold infinite wisdom within our heart that whenever we show up and we share it, you might not know whose life you might change by the things that you're saying. So
100%. Just feeling the intense, heavy but very powerful energy.
Absolutely. I'm actually feeling called to pull from my Fairy Forest deck. And normally this deck, I actually read the card from the book because the book is so absolutely powerful on it. So if that's all right with you, Aaron, I'd love to pull us a fairy tarot, a fairy oracle card and see we've had some really great conversation. Fairy Oracle, what do you have to give us some guidance or wisdom on where exactly we're at or where we should be going? What's just a little bit of wisdom from the Fairy Oracle here on what's some wisdom we can add to this conversation. Okay, that's super beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and pull from the book here. So I'll hold it up and read for you guys. Thank you guys so much who are holding space on YouTube. I really appreciate you all. This has been such an amazing learning experience. So I'm gonna hold the card up to Instagram and then I'll move it down for YouTube, okay? Card number 42, bliss, contentment, satisfaction, and security. You are contented, relaxed, and serene. This is no time of complacency, but of true abiding happiness, loving relationships, supportive friendships, meaningful work, and flowing joy. You are secure, safe, and well. And the bliss has matured, healthy roots and branches. It will endure. Your questions and searching, your pain and crisis, they are in the past. It is now a time to be of service in the name of love, to send out love and contentment, to be a living embodiment of the beauty that life can be. You may fear some will be jealous or envious, and so you have been quiet about your joy. But if you share with a loving, secure, and sound heart and send this love out into the wider world, your contentment can only be maintained and deepened. You are a person who proves that bliss is no dream. It can happen. The more you give, more you will benefit. The being coming forward to speak with you signifies that which many of us live for: close family ties, children, material satisfaction, stability, happiness, and a long-term satisfaction and success. All you must do is radiate out this energy and be grateful. This is not to say that there will never be challenges. They will come, but so again will bliss. Embrace it. I just think that's so absolutely beautiful that this card comes after the amazing conversation we've had today, speaking upon the ability to step into that place of shining your light and stepping out of your comfort zone, and knowing that whenever you share your bliss and your happiness, that others are inspired by that. And so don't be afraid to shine your happiness. I know sometimes we can feel like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't be feeling happy because of all of the things that are going on in the world right now. People are struggling. There's a virus, the world is kind of at this place of turmoil. But this card really just encourages you to know that it is so important to shine your happiness and to show others that it's okay to be happy, and then that allows them to find happiness too. Because like what Aaron was saying, if you're really big into paying attention to the news or what's going on in the world, you're going to hear all these fear tactics and all of the, oh my gosh, this is what's happening. And so whenever you put out that happiness and that beautiful energy, it gives other people the opportunity to say, you know what, I can be happy right now. This is even an option in my life. And then it gives them the chance to see the beautiful things that are happening in their life. So I just encourage you to continue to lean into that energy of happiness and contentment and connecting with what really does make your soul sing and what makes your heart happy, because then you emit that light into other people's spaces and it reflects back onto them the ability to see what makes them happy as well. And so what a beautiful card. Number 42, just beautiful.
That just clarifies everything we spoke about so far in the last nearly 2.5 hours. Every word has just been clarified with that one card. So that's incredible.
The Fairy Oracle has a way of doing that, my friend. It really does.
Definitely. I just want to take a moment to just embrace the energy and just be present. And to everyone watching, just take a moment to breathe and just be present in yourself, not just in the world or in the room, but within you right now. Just become aware of self, aware of you, aware that you are here and that there is a reason for you being here right now. Whether you can see it right now or not, doesn't matter, because there is a reason and you have a purpose. And when you accept that you have a purpose, whether knowingly or not, and embrace that feeling of true purpose, true humility, true selflessness, and true acceptance, you begin the process of becoming exactly who you were designed to be, and exactly who is going to be there for yourself and to protect you. And know that no matter what goes on in life, you will never be given more than you can handle, because life is a wonderfully intrinsic place to be. And everything that happens, see it as building your character, see it as a chance to grow, a chance to learn, a chance to see and feel and experience new things. Perceive everything as positive, and you will start to see opportunities in everything. Know that you have this divine power within you to create the universe that you want, not just this world or the life that you want, but the entire universe ultimately revolves around you. And by that, I mean you create anything you want by setting the intention and your effort. When you set the intention, you put effort into that. Like if you intend to go to work in the morning, everything you do is going to be focused on getting yourself to work. So why not set your intention every single day to make that day the best day of your life and to see opportunity in every single moment? Embrace you, accept you, and be you.
Beautiful, Aaron. That was so gorgeous. Thank you for that.
I also want to give you guys the fire prints as well. I absolutely love these oracles. They're the wisdom of the hidden realms. They're absolutely beautiful. They're probably the best oracle. I can't stop reading with them. It's driving me crazy. The energy is just so intense. But the fire prints brings in this energy of, you know, you see the power there. Like what I was just saying, you see that immense power. He's not stepping back. Yeah, he's surrounded by fire. Well, that's not to say that he's burning himself. He's harnessing the power that's around him. And as you can see in this, he's also holding the torch there. So he's harnessing the power through him and directing it outwards into his action. And he's setting the intention of being aggressive in what he wants to achieve. If you say to yourself, well, today I want to achieve 2 smiles out of 2 random strangers. Well, your actions then, if you hold that intention clear, your intention is going to be, well, I'm going to do whatever I can to make 2 people smile. I'm going to do something, whether it's just holding a door or whatever, because you've said to yourself, this is what today's going to be. And this is why it's important to plan your day out. I would say schedule things the day before you go to sleep. Lay your clothes out for the next day. Lay everything out. So when you wake up, you make minimal decisions. So you get everything ready, then meditate and set the intention for the day, and then go out. And every action will be based on that initial intention that you set for yourself during that morning meditation. And go at it with optimism, but be aggressive. Because if you hold that intention to make 2 people smile, but you're half-hearted about it and you don't really care about it, well, chances are you're not really going to make 2 people smile the way that you want. You might get a little smirk, but you're not going to get a big smile that you're looking for. Whereas if you go at it aggressively, that's not to say be angry or aggressive, but go at it in an aggressive way in the sense of not stopping until you've made them smile. Even if you look like a complete idiot in the process, as long as you're true to what your intention is designed to achieve, you will achieve it.
Absolutely. It's honestly, it's one of the spaces that I hold actually every Sunday here, normally at about 2 hours from now. Is my Sunday homeroom space. And it's just something I've created to give the opportunity for people to set your intentions for the week, because whenever you maintain that focus of what do I want my week to look like, if you don't think about it and you don't create the space to set your intentions and say, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like Aaron was saying, I want to make somebody smile today. Let's say that you set the intention for Monday to create a project. Let's say you're a content creator and you want to create a new YouTube video. And so you say, well, on Monday, I'm going to study on this topic. Tuesday, I'm going to create a draft on this topic. Wednesday, I'm going to edit it. Thursday, I'm going to post it. Okay, so you've created an outline for your week, so you have a goal of what you want to achieve that really brings you closer to that that achievement that you want to achieve, the overall goal, the big goal. And then you get to that day and you say, you know, I've done my research and I want to create the video, but I just don't have the energy to create this video. You honor your energy and you say, okay, instead, I'm going to do a self-love act and I'm going to take a nice meditative bath. I'm going to spend some time reflecting on what is this video going to create for the spaces that I want? Does it align with my purpose? And then the next day you wake up, you kind of adjust your schedule and you say, okay, now I'm going to actually set that video out there because you're more centered and whole within your space. And so like creating the goals and the steps to get there, but then also honoring where you're at on the energy for the day and allowing yourself the opportunity to change. Because that's the thing, like the very first thing we talked about was the flowing like water, you know. And so giving yourself the opportunity to flow with the energies of life and not being so hard on yourself and not holding that judgment of what it's like, releasing the expectations of what things need to be and allowing them to be what they are while still holding focus of where you want to go.
100%. And like I said earlier, what you said about just now, you get to a point where you're like, I want to create this, but now I don't have the energy. What I would always ask when that's the case is, what's preventing you from having the energy? What was your intention? Were you wanting to create that video because you were giving it to somebody else? Or were you wanting to create it because you truly wanted to just create it for you?
Right.
Now, what I found with creating my content is, when I pressure myself and think, right, I've got to get this video out for Tuesday, and I used to post my videos at dead on 6 o'clock every evening on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That created so much pressure on myself. I was like, I have to do it by this time. It has to be out. And then I'd find that I wasn't creating the videos in advance. I ended up editing it on the day that it was being uploaded, and it was just causing so much stress and pressure. And because I was doing it because it had to be done for something else, other than because I was like, I want to do it. I'm going to edit it today. I'm going to film it today. I'm going to get it out sometime today. So doing it for you and taking a relaxed approach, because when you tense up, your energy is used on tension, is used on sending all that energy to your muscles, to your physical body, because you're tense and you're creating this friction within yourself. So when you relax, you just let go and there's no pressure. That's the importance. That's why we feel lighter when someone says, oh, no pressure, in your own time. We physically feel lighter, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. We feel lighter because our bodies are suddenly gone from, I got to do this, to, fine, wow, I can do it. Okay, I can take my time, it's fine, it's okay. Yeah. Sigh of relief is letting go of that tension that we hold within. And with that, it was amazing. I was just kind of having a peek through the deck, and one card just jumped out at me, more just the colour, but then I took a closer look, and it's Rhythmical, which speaks about flow and letting go. Exactly what you were just talking about. And as I looked at the card, I was like, wow, that's literally said exactly what you were saying at the same time I chose it. So allowing yourself to just let go of the tension, flowing within the moment and flowing within you. Don't try to conform to an idea that you have to do something a certain way for a certain time for a certain reason. Just flow with your own natural rhythm. It's kind of like if you try to force yourself to sleep when you're not tired. Well, you're not going to get to sleep easy because you're resisting it. You don't want to sleep, but you're trying to force yourself to sleep, and you're not ready for it. Or like we said earlier, trying to talk about something that's really close to our hearts when we're not ready to talk about it creates resistance. So unless you're ready to dedicate to something, in this sense, let's just carry on with the analogy of content creation. If you're not actually ready to dedicate yourself to releasing, say, videos at set times or so many certain days a week, or say, oh, I want to release 3 videos a week, can you realistically dedicate that to you? Not to anyone else, but 3 videos a week because I really love making videos. I want to make 3 videos a week because I just love doing it. I love sharing it. If you're thinking, I want to make 3 videos a week because that's how you grow on social media, that's how you grow on YouTube, by having more content. Pressure. You just pressure. You're saying, I have to do this because I have to achieve this. And if I don't achieve this, I'm not going to be happy. But when you do it for you and say, do you know what, it can take 3 times as long, I don't care. Because I'm putting it out there because I love doing it, because I love sharing what I have to say, and not because somebody's telling me you have to do this in this way to do this or to achieve this. And that's a really important thing to remember, is to do things, like we said earlier, do it for you, and do it because it's coming from that warm, heartfelt place deep within inside of you, and not, like I said earlier, trying to bring the outside world into you, bring you into the outside world.
Absolutely. And it's funny because whenever you come from that heart-centered space, that space of, I'm doing this because this is what aligns with my purpose, this is what aligns with my truth, it really does show in the content that you're creating or in the spaces that you're holding. And so if you are creating content or holding spaces or showing up in a place and you're like, things just aren't going the way that I want it to, or things aren't aligning with my purpose, then just like really focusing back in on that heart-centered space and saying, whenever I show up from my heart, it reflects out into the spaces, and people can feel that because we're all vibrations, we're all energies, and everything that you do creates its own vibration. And so whenever you align with that, I'm doing this because this is what I believe in, this is what fuels my passion, that's what's going to inspire other people, not that place of, I have to create this video because I want to get the followers or because I want to get the likes or I'm looking for the attention. People feel that vibration of like that need, that it's, again, like I said earlier, like that I'm giving my power away to others rather than I'm holding it from within myself. And so, if you're looking to grow, I just always inspire to connect with your heart and come from that heart-centered place.
Definitely. It's such a hard thing to do in the modern world, is to come from a place of love, because like I said a few times, like the reason I don't watch TV is because you turn it on and you're, on the one hand, you're being shown all these things that your brain is then being programmed to think, well, they're showing this on TV to the mass population, so it must be a good thing. I must have that. That's going to do something for my life. So on the one hand, you're being shown all these things that the society is trying to say, you need to have this for this reason. And to have that, you need money, which just reinforces that you have to work and you have to earn money and you have to do this to be happy. And a weird experience that I had just a couple of weeks ago, I was in a supermarket and I was looking at all the branded products in there, and I was looking at everything that was on the shelves, and it was almost like I was hypnotized by the colors and the fonts and the wording, and I was looking at everything and thinking, I can feel my mind wanting to buy it. I want to pick it up. But then my higher self is saying, why do you need this? And it was like a chocolate cake that was branded really extravagantly, and I was like, that's just really unhealthy. It's lowering your vibration. It's crap. It doesn't do anything for your body. And I was just thinking to myself, or even I was thinking to myself, I was literally talking directly to my higher self and having a little conversation. I must have looked mad. I was having a mini conversation in my head, just staring at a chocolate cake in the supermarket, and literally just saying, you're being shown everything that they know your mind will react to, which makes you crave it. It makes you feel drawn to it. And that's why bold colors and bold fonts are used. And that's what I mean. In society, you're shown all these things on TV. You walk through the high street in any town or city, and you'll see big branding, big bright colors. You'll see everything that programs your brain to say, you need to have this, and if you don't have it, there's something wrong with you, you're going to be unhappy. So it's so hard to come from a place of love and a place of compassion and just heartfelt joy, because the world teaches us that unless you have this, this, and this, you can't have love, you can't be loved. So it's a very toxic world, and I think that's a really important thing about spiritual development, not in the sense of, the world should be spiritual practitioners or tarot readings, or, the world doesn't need to be just practitioners. It's more the spiritual mindset that comes with, as a reader. It's not that your whole life is like, the tarot, you must listen to the tarot. Yeah, fair enough, that, we take a lot of guidance in tarot, but we're not going to say, okay, to be spiritual, you have to read, you have to do readings, you have to do runes, you have to do oracles, you have to read a crystal ball or whatever. It's the mindset that we're all one, we're all connected. And just thinking in that form, you are the same as me. And maybe not in a physical sense, but you could think, you're made up of the exact same stuff that I'm made up of. The only reason that you're you is because you've had a slightly different experience to me. If I had the same experience to you, and I had the same hormones and chemicals in my brain that you have, I might be exactly the same person as you. I might be different, who knows? But the fact is, by looking at it in that way, you're thinking in a sense of every living thing, everything in the universe is made up of the exact same stuff. And if you're made of the same stuff, it means that nobody is different. There's no such thing as you and you and you and me, or, well, I'm this person, you're that person, so we're different. We're the same thing, just with different reactions. Because ultimately, that's all it is. We're all the same thing in the sense that we're all conscious. We're all alive. So if you look at it, we're all alive, but we react to the same experience. You could have your house burned down and be really, really positive, and I could have my house burned down at the exact same time and be really depressed. So the exact same situation, but we react differently. And no matter how you perceive that, that just says that the only difference between people or any living thing is the reaction to experience. Like, say, take a dog, for example. One dog that's been abused would be really shy and afraid of people. At the same time, another dog could be overly loving because they're craving the love that they've never received through the abuse, but they show love to everything that they come into contact with in the hope that one of those people, one of those other animals will react in the same way and give the dog the love. So two dogs that have been through the same abuse will react two different ways. They're the same thing, just reacting differently to the same situation. And when that for me is the premise of a spiritual mind. It's just seeing your connection to everything, and it's important not to judge and to go with the flow and to let things go if it's not working for you, if there's resistance, come from the heart and to love and to not argue with people. Even if you're like, well, I need to argue because they're wrong. Who are you trying to prove? Are you trying to prove to them that they're wrong, or are you trying to prove to you that you're right? What's the reason that you're actually engaging in an argument? Who are you trying to prove? And what are you trying to prove to him? And just embracing that connection that we all have, whether we accept it or not, we're all connected. It's like us communicating now is allowing certain people to join us live, which means they're not there, they are or are not doing other things in their life, which means other people connected to them are doing different things, and it ripples. The entire planet is connected through reaction. Because one person sees this live, clicks on it, another person sees the live and moves past. So their reaction to the same thing means that they're interacting with other people or different people or no one, which no matter how you look at that, that says that we're connected just in that way, just by our reactions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And knowing too that like every action you create creates a reaction, and the ripples the tiny little waves that you make are going to affect the people, just like you're saying, like the things that you and I are speaking on right now, it's resonating with me, it's resonating with you, it's resonating with the people that are listening, and then they're going to go out and they're going to hold that wisdom that they learned from today, and then they're going to be able to then affect the people that are around them and say, hey, I learned today that I need to focus on myself and show myself love. And whenever they meet that person at the supermarket that is like having a horrible day, and they're going to say, you know what, if I share a smile with this person, that might just change their whole day. And the ripple just goes out from there. So knowing that like every little tiny thing you do affects the people around you, because we are all ultimately one within our hearts, within spirit. And that's why it's so important that we maintain our spiritual soul, and the physical body that we inhabit, because if your spiritual mind is developed and maintained and conditioned, but then your physical body is being neglected, then there's going to be this disconnect between the physical and the spiritual. And so that's kind of why, if you're familiar with the paradigm shift team and a lot of the communication that Brendan will say, he'll be like, hey, your meditation practices might be good, but is your room clean? Are you eating the right foods? Are you drinking water? And it's because you can be doing all of the right things spiritually, but if you're not maintaining that physical body, because we are multidimensional spiritual beings that exist within a 3D physical body, and so it's so important to maintain the two, and that's really how you get the connection to be able to build that solid foundation of growth within your spaces. So
100%. Well, I'm gonna have to, I think, draw myself to a close, because my guides are feeling very, very heavy. So, but it's been an incredible conversation, incredible knowledge, incredible flow.
Absolutely, Aaron. Thank you so much for holding this space. I agree. We must honor the energy, and this has been a beautiful conversation, almost a 3-hour conversation of wisdom. So I just so appreciate you being open to sharing space with one another. I appreciate all of you beautiful souls that have participated in the conversation, and I hope that you all have been inspired to just ripple out from here and share the love and wisdom from your hearts. And Aaron, I look forward to connecting with you further on more communication, and so much peace and love to each and every one of you.
Of course, and I want to offer a little prayer to just offer a bit of extra energy and a bit of spiritual inspiration. Before then, are you okay to do the promotion-y, like Patreon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for anyone watching, if you found value in what I say, and Kristen also has Patreon, my Patreon is in the link to my bio. I'm also live on Facebook this Wednesday, and I'm live every Saturday and Sunday on my Facebook page as well. So go check it out. Those links are in my bio. But if you want to become a part of my creative process, check out the content that I put out there. My Patreon will allow you to literally become a part of the creative process, allow me to continue doing all this work, but also to offer you something in return. So for as little as $6.99 a month, you get access to a Discord server. I'll be honest, I'm still building the Discord, but that will be up and running hopefully very soon. You also get readings, coaching with me, as well as many other benefits. So you can check all that out in the link in my bio as well. I just wanted to put that out there for the collective.
Absolutely. Beautiful. I also do have a Patreon as well. So if you guys are looking for healing spaces, my Discord is set so you guys can connect with other amazing souls. I am so grateful for all of the people that share my Discord space with one another. And if you're looking to connect with a healing space, I do offer Reiki, and I'm very grateful to have that on my Patreon as well. Options for monthly readings and collective readings as well. I do one-on-ones. So if you're looking to connect with me further for one-on-ones or for my Patreon, the link for that is also in my bio. And so that's beautiful. There are also many levels. So if you're just getting started to spirituality and you're just looking to connect, there's that level as well that will get you connected with the Discord. Or if you're looking for that healing or that tarot guidance, you can connect with one of the higher tiers as well. So I appreciate all of you. I look forward to connecting with you guys in the future, and I'm sending you all absolute healing love for your evenings, sweet, peaceful dreams, and I hope the wisdom resonates and you all have just the most beautiful evening.
Beautiful. Okay, so I just want to end on a little prayer.
Thank you, Aaron.
So just to bless all of you, and just take a moment to, again, be present. Let there be wisdom, and let there be light. Let us be challenged, to open our sight. Let no harm ever be done, and remember that all life is one. With truth and with heart, may the highest be done, that all of the realms may heal in the sun. Show us only our highest good, and for our highest good be done. Blessed be. Amen.
Blessed be. Amen.
Okay, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we will connect soon.
Goodbye. Namaste, sweet souls. Awesome. Okay, YouTube. I love you guys. Thank you for holding space. This was so absolutely beautiful. Namaste. Enjoy your evenings, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.